I never talked to them boys that sat on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches. Coach, 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 coach,
Now it's time to go to work. Let's go to work, y'all. What is going on? Can you hear me first? You hear me just fine. What is going on, y'all? What's going on for the state family? Seminole Nation and the 863 tribe. I don't know about you guys, but my weekend starts Thursday night. So it's a Noles after dark. Weekend's gotten started on my end. If not, sorry for you. For those that you're going to be enjoying a long weekend with me, I'm glad you're here with me tonight. But I'd like to welcome everybody in the building, man. It's been about another week since we've talked. Not much to talk about as far in terms of news, other than these Miami Heat getting their doors blown off. I could care less about either team, honestly. But other than Miami Heat getting their doors blown off, don't be the first team to ever let a team come back 0-3. Come on now, Miami. But hold on. Somebody said my mic sounded a little off. Let me check. Check it. You are right. My mic is the PC mic and not this mic. So let's fix that. Okay, that should sound better. Let's check. That should sound better. Yes, it does. It does. Okay, we good. Sound should be better. Video should be good. How's everybody doing, man? Appreciate that. Jonathan Briley's in the building. Ronald Smith's in the building. FSU Tony. Born Legacy. Look, man, if you're going to be riding around with Devontae, tell him to hop on here, man. I would love to chop it up with Devontae unless you know. If we're going to be doing all of that, tell Devontae to get up on the camera, man. We would love to chop it up with Devontae Freeman one day, if at all possible. Shout out to 226 Tim, Vontae B, Ardavius, Jeff, William, Jason, Damian, I Buy Mutt Packs, and Motivated and Dedicated. What y'all drinking on tonight, man? What y'all drinking on tonight? Me, some Tito's. Going a little slight tonight. A little Tito's. Nothing too serious. Where do we begin? Well, we can talk about, I guess, some of the mild news that's broken this week before we kind of get into the topic of the actual video, which is hype versus reality. I really want to talk about the off-season hype. I'm loving it personally, but I want to talk about it. But before we do all of that, there's FAU safety is I guess. Hold on, let me get the details here, man. All right. FAU safety Taj. I'm guessing that's Taj Young, who entered the portal. Apparently, we have communication with this guy, and he's been a productive player for FAU. Ole Miss, LSU, Mississippi State. If he's hitting the portal at this time, then he's obviously a grad transfer. So that means, immediate eligibility, 1-year rental, so to speak. A guy that produced In his time at FAU, he's racked up 160 tackles, 7 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles, 4 defensive touchdowns, which is kind of impressive. Um, so that's a guy at the safety position that we talk about, and um, the position that we talk about that we kind of want to see him add. So that's cool. Like they're gonna be adding or potentially adding a um, productive rotation guy there. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna get too excited about the last FAU DB who also led the nation in interceptions and all this other. He had all these stats and accolades as well. The last FAU DB, uh, uh, didn't quite pan out how we may have wanted or thought he would. So I'm not going to get too excited about this, but I'm okay with him coming in. We need experience in the safety room because outside of your 2 starters, you don't have any. Even with the JUCO guy, that's a guy with 4 years of eligibility. You don't really have any real experience. I mean, you want to go with the freshman, that's fine. Just know that comes with a lack of experience. So this guy's played a lot of college football, so at least he gives you that. But again, the last FAU safety just, he made it. We told a lot of lies about that last guy. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm not gonna say his name. Pretty sure he was a great kid. But we told a lot of lies about that last FAU DB, and a lot of tape of him getting smoked out there on the field. So, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens with this guy. If he comes, awesome. If not, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it either. So that's about the only news that I am aware of going on. There's a lot of talk, I think, about Trader because Edwin Joseph may have said something, or I don't know, man. I think that is one of those recruitments that's going to go down to the wire. I don't see any instant decision or decision incoming there. William with the $3. Super pair character stretching his arm. Oh, so I hate when this app does that. So you gave me a super sticker. Appreciate you. With a pair, look like he giving me the thumbs up. Got it. Appreciate William for that, man.
Clickety clank, the money goes into my piggy bank.
Sipping on some ice cold water. Ain't nothing wrong with sipping on some water, bro. Especially starting to get hot. I don't know where you live at, Div, but it's starting to get hot here in Texas. Drink all the water possible. Believe me. Young's numbers look good, but I'm not doing backflips either. There you go. It is what it is. If he comes in, he gives you something awesome. If not, again, I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping. Trader more likely UM. He wants to see Miami offense's action. I don't know what happens with Trader. I don't know. Maybe he does go to UM. I think that's where he's been crystal ball. So I don't know. I don't have. I don't know. If his dream school is that school, then so be it. If that offense can't look any worse than it did last year, so there's that. Gonna be relatively slow news. Yeah, absolutely. You're in the dog days, the doldrums of summer, so it won't be a ton of news. Mostly recruiting visits and the such. So yeah, that's why this particular late night stream, we're not really talking about any news. I really want to. We can get right into it. Hit the like button, by the way, guys. Not a large crowd in here tonight, but I don't care. I don't care if I got 28, 58, 88, or 18. We in here, we chatting it up, and that's what we're gonna do here tonight. Hype versus reality. FSU has a lot of off-season hype. And frankly, it's rubbed your rivals the wrong way. Your rivals hate it. Jeff with the $5 don't know. He didn't say anything, no comment, but as always, Jeff, I appreciate you, man, for coming in. There we go. Appreciate you for coming in and supporting the channel as always, Jeff.
Jeff.
So back to it. Yeah, hype versus reality. I think your rivals are mad because in their eyes, there's a whole ton of hype coming into a year where nobody outside of the fan base feels like this team deserves it. And how much of this hype is just that? And how much of it is actually a reality? How much of it is, what is the likelihood? What is the likelihood that at the end of the year, we're sitting here going, ha ha, I told you so? That's the question. Me personally, I love the hype. I think some of the hype is, I think we look too much at the media. Because does the media believe the hype about Florida State? I don't know if the media believes the hype or not. What I do know is Florida State, whether it's on YouTube, Twitter, wherever, Florida State gets reactions. Florida State gets clicks. Florida State gets likes. People view your videos when you start talking about FSU. So when you see On3 and these individuals that seems like they are always talking about Florida State, it ain't because they really believe the hype, in my opinion. It's simply because they know we believe the hype, and we're going to tune in. The Florida State fan base is going to tune in to anybody that's talking about the Seminoles. And they're going to like that video, and that's just going to drive up their views and likes. So I don't blame them for making videos on Florida State. But how much of the hype is real? Well, here's a news flash for every fan and every rival coming from me. If you're sick of the hype, get used to it, because it ain't dying down. And this isn't I made this comparison before, man. This isn't Miami, and I love to do it. I ain't gonna lie to you. This isn't Miami coming off of a COVID season and returning all of those players, right? Because Miami had a similar situation to us, where they had a good season, and then they were returning everybody, the De'Aaron Kings, the Bubba Boldens. They were bringing back the whole squad. The difference is it was COVID. And the COVID season was such an anomaly in and of itself. Good teams were bad. Bad teams were good. Michigan sucked that year. Michigan ain't missed the playoffs since. Oregon was like a 4-3 team or something. Like, ridiculous year, man. Very strange year. Problem is, Miami, look, they fell for fool's gold. And so they are trying to project that on us. The difference is we actually played a real college football season last year. The difference is we actually got a quarterback that's not 5'2". Got a real quarterback. The difference is Jared Verse is a legit draftable prospect. The facts are the hype for Florida State is real. I believe this is one of the rare cases where hype matches reality, because not only what you brought back, but the level of talent that you brought in the port. You got to look at, you added Keon Coleman, Jeremiah Bell, Braden Fisk, Fentrell Cypress. I mean, how can you not have the level of hype? FSU would have been hyped if they just would have brought everybody back and not added those pieces. Because normally 9-win teams don't get worse when you bring back everybody. I don't know where Jared Verse lies in the actual draft when it's all said and done. I believe, like I was saying earlier, think Jared Verse was a fringe first, more likely a second round guy this year. That's why he came back. Rule of thumb, the consensus thinking is, well, Jared Verse is going to his first year playing Division I football, or should I say Power 5 football. He's going to get better in year 2. Albany, he got by strictly off of his athleticism. Last year, early on, same thing. Got hurt a little bit, had to expand his game. I believe he will expand said game, and you will see the complete package this year. A guy like that is going to get better. Johnny Wilson went from a guy who nobody wanted out of Arizona State. The man said nobody wanted him. I don't think Johnny's a first round draft pick, but at 6'7", 235 or whatever he is, he'll get drafted. He's only going to get better. And we can go down the list. Trey Benson. Last year was his first time playing college football for the most part. The man was injured for his whole time at Oregon. I think he redshirted 1 year, was hurt another year. Guy didn't play. Come to Florida State, first year playing. He's going to do what? So, this is my point when I talk about hype versus reality. And how Miami, again, I love to do it. I'm going to throw shots when I can. Miami fell into fool's gold. Because none of that got better that they had. First of all, you was gauging it off a floppy season on the COVID year. But secondly, none of it. De'Aaron King was supposed to be a one-and-done guy. He was maxed out. Came back because that COVID year didn't count. And you saw what happened there. TVD ends up taking over because of the De'Aaron King injury and all that other good stuff. Point being, everybody that I just named literally to some extent was experiencing their first time really getting quality snaps last year. There's so much potential on this team to not – they were good as is. The potential to get even better is off the charts, man, when you really look at it. When you look at those players I'm talking about, Trey Benson's first year really doing anything. Johnny Wilson, Jared Verse, these are guys' first years getting a crack at actually playing college football at that level, and they exceeded every expectation. I'm going to take a drink. How can you not be hyped? That's all I'm saying, man. Hype versus reality. The Florida State hype is legit. You have a portion of the media that is feeding into the hype. Again, I don't know if they believe it or not, but I know that they know it's going to get them traffic. But I don't want Florida State fans to get. Look, I might say certain things, but that doesn't mean I don't believe the hype. Okay, so what I mean is I might say like, hey, I don't know if we're a playoff team, but we're definitely an ACC contender. It doesn't mean I don't believe the hype, but I do like to have somewhat of a realistic expectation of what we got going on. If you are on the national championship or bus bandwagon, look, man, by all means, drive that thing to the moon. I am not mad at you. As I said before, if you're scared, go to church. That Mike Norvell recently was talking about the expectations, and I don't have the direct quote in front of me, but the gist of it is simple. When he got here, this chat and other chats was full of he ain't the standard's this and the standard that, because the doofus AD that we had at the time, when you fired Willie, he said the standard was the standard. Okay, the standard is the standard. But Mike Norvell, the first 2 years, was not reaching that quote unquote standard. When he said 6-6 wasn't the standard, 6-6 wasn't the standard at Florida State. Well, that didn't do a good thing for Mike Norvell in the first 2 years. Fair enough. The chat was in here. They were going off on it. Completely understandable. Now all of a sudden, again, if you're on a national championship bandwagon, by all means go for it. Because now all of a sudden, I'm seeing people talk natty or bust. Whether or not I agree with it is irrelevant. But then I'm seeing fans say, well, I don't know if we're still scarred. I don't know if we're still have PTSD over those last few years. I mean, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't. Which one is it? Is it the standard to compete? Or, this is the same argument I had last year. If y'all remember this time last year, what was everyone saying this time last year? I mean, a good season for Florida State would be 7 games, man. If we can win 7 games, Mike Norvell's doing the damn thing. And I'm like, wait, 7 games? That's what we happy with? I don't care what anybody else says. I was the first one telling y'all 9-3, and I stuck with that, and I stayed with that. And anybody in this chat can tell you that is the truth. I said 9-3 from the jump for 2 reasons. 1, because the standard is the standard, and 2, the program drastically needed 9-3. 7 wins last year, and I'm telling y'all, what you saw in Keon Cole, what we have now, you go 7 games last year, I guarantee you this team doesn't look like it looks right now if you go 7 games. We needed 9-3. It's one of the reasons why I predicted it, trying to speak it into existence. But there was a whole contingency of fans. Man, 7 games, man. This team, we win 7 games. Now, fast forward, we kind of doing the same thing. There's a good portion of us that are hyping this thing up, and then there's some of us that want to reel it back. Look, man, drive the hype train to the moon. I'm no longer going to sit here and tell y'all to calm it down. I believe Florida State is wielding a team. Again, I'm not on the national championship. You feel me? I'm not on that. But I'm pretty high on this team. And there's one thing you can say about most national championship teams, including the 13 team, which was our last one. A lot of luck it's not just the amount of talent, but a lot of luck goes into that in terms of injuries and things of that nature, and other teams' injuries, right? Like, we don't talk about it, but I mean, national championship game, when Kermit takes that kickoff back, great kick return. One of my favorite moments of that entire season was that kickoff return. Let's be honest. If the Auburn player don't run down there and blow out a hammy, it probably don't happen. That's when I say luck plays a part. If you don't believe in luck in sports, I mean, I understand it because I've heard that saying growing up. They don't believe in luck in sports, but when you don't get hurt, when you don't suffer any serious injuries, when things like that happen to the other team, I mean, I don't know, divine intervention, whatever you want to call it, a lot of that goes into winning these national championships, believe it or not. There's no way to quantify it. There's no way to control it. Shit just happens, as they say. I think I've talked a little bit. Let's get to the comments. Polk, you're online about our salty rivals. We need to get them smart water stat before they dry up. Briley says, I don't know if it's hype as much as expectations. There's so much returning talent. Weakness was addressed, and we have a good team that objectively got better. Facts, don't care about the rivals' feelings. What would be the consequences of our team don't live up to the hype? Okay, so this is an interesting question. When you ask this question, I mean, I kind of want to just, what should, I guess do I answer your question with the question? Like, what should be the consequences? And then what is living up to the hype? Is it national championship or bust? Would you be satisfied with just the ACC championship? Would you be satisfied with just the ACC championship appearance? But maybe a New Year's Six bowl. What is your expectations? And then if they don't live up to that, now I ask you what should happen. Listen, nothing crazy is going to happen unless, I don't know, this team completely flatlines, which nobody sees that happening, right? I've said before, I think it was last week, I said, for me, the ceiling, 11-1, 10-2, probably somewhere in that area. I'm leaning more towards an 11-1 regular season as the ceiling. Obviously, the ceiling can be as high as this, whatever, but I'm gonna say 11-1 is the ceiling. Definitely could be wrong. It could, you could go undefeated. I think it's hard to do so, but you could. But then what's the floor? And then that's how we'll figure out what's most likely, right? And that's a great question for this team. Because I think if they went back-to-back 9-3 seasons, disappointing, yes. Once the emotion wore off of it, I think you could look at back-to-back 9-3 seasons and be fairly happy with that, be honest with you. I think so. Again, I know that would disappoint a lot of people because it's like if you lost 9, it's pretty similar to last year. If you lost 3 games this year, basically what you're telling me is, once again, you're losing to your good team. You're going to lose to LSU. You're going to lose to Clemson. And then, I don't know, maybe a Pitt or a Wake Forest or something. You end up losing that game. What you're telling is that you're basically going to lose the good teams again. Not the progression you want to see. Very disappointing. But ultimately, I still think there's a lot worse you can do than 9 games. Is 9 games the floor? I kind of think so. I think 9 games is the floor. So if 11-1 is the ceiling, 9 games is the floor. 10-2 should be the expectation. If they don't live up to a 10-2 season, I don't know what the consequences would be. Again, I don't think it's anything too crazy. At the most, depending on what the weakness of this team is, maybe you go into next year and the defense hasn't made the next jump. Then maybe it is time we look at Adam Fuller and get him out here. Right now, I'm on the Adam Fuller defense. I'm like his defense attorney at this point. When I see a coach that has routinely gotten the defense going from in the 120s to top 60 to all of a sudden top 15, I don't know how we continue to criticize this man, but that's what we do. People have agendas. We follow the narratives that some talking heads have on social media, though they don't really back it up with anything really statistical. But show me the other defensive coordinator in the country that's made that huge of a leap in 3 years. I guarantee you can't find them. So I'm on the Adam Fuller defense. I'm on his defense team. But if you were to have a step back this year, then maybe you would look at an Adam Fuller. That probably would. Oh, I said all of that, Shar, to say if you don't live up to expectations, probably the consequences would be continue to improve the staff. If we beat LSU, the hype is going to be boiling. If they go beat Clemson, the pot is going to boil over. In time, we could eventually make Clemson go back to just being an average team. I don't know if, I don't know if it's impossible, but I don't think it's definitely not probable. I think Clemson at this point, they have the funding. They have a program that's dedicated to the team, dedicated to football. So Clemson, I don't think goes back to being just average Clemson. It would take a coach to come in and really like ruin that. And I don't think Dabo goes anywhere anytime soon. I think Clemson should be and will continue to be a mainstay in the ACC. I'm not trying to get Clemson to fall a peg. I'm trying to get up on that, especially when we're talking about the conference and potentially trying to leave this conference, and how the grant of rights is almost impossible to get out of. And again, I'm not a lawyer, but just the things that I've heard and whatnot, it's almost impossible. Your best bet might be to just elevate the ACC as a whole. Do you want Clemson to drop down a peg, or do you want to go meet Clemson at its peak? My guess you'd want to meet Clemson at its peak. What up, Dan Squatch? Jason says, anything short of the ACC champs is a letdown. I'm not ready to jump on the Natty train just yet. In my opinion, they got to beat Clemson at least once. If they don't do it, I'm going to be disappointed. ACC championship win / appearance in a New Year's Six Bowl for me. I think those are fair expectations. Our Davey says, man, those slip screens with Bell catching them is going to be lethal. Hell, even if Jordan goes down, there's enough weapons on offense. Tate might be able to make an ACC run. We'll see. I'm not gonna. I would be it's like I don't want to see it, but I would be interested to see, Tate Rodemaker for an extended period of time. I don't want to see it though, but it'd be something. It would definitely have my interest. What up, Matthew? Yeah, if we're 7, if we're anything less than, if we're anything less than 8 games, I'm with you. Like something happened, something drastic happened. What's up? Corey Hall. He says we have to beat Clemson first, but Fuller play a lot of man average, but he doesn't have. I can agree. Does that definitely plays a lot of man. The blitzes was what that's a lot of what is the major criticism on Fuller is not a lot of creative blitzes with him. Not even a lot of blitzing. People feel like he doesn't blitz enough. So I mean, we'll see. I'm interested to see if we can get pressure with just the front four, how that works out. What's up, Raymond James? That's right. Tell them, hit the like button, y'all, and share the video, man. Let people know we live. I know it's a little late on the East. Well, it's not that late. But then again, I do understand it's a Thursday. And if you don't have a long weekend like me, you could be ready to go to bed. I understand it. But I'm still here. Jeff with a $10 dono says, I don't remember the channel this guy was giving his wins and losses. He was giving it for FSU. And one of the 3 losses that he was giving us was against the Gators. I mean, hey, I don't think the Gators are going to have a good football team. But I always say this, and I think for the most part, the rule of thumb is rivalry games are unpredictable. Anything can happen in those. And, it's the last game of the season. Who knows? Let's say Florida State goes into that game 11-0. You don't think the Gators are going to come in that game and do everything they can to ruin a perfect? They absolutely are, right? So anything can happen in those games. That's his opinion. But ultimately, I don't think the Gators are going to have a good football team.
Jeff.
And Jeff comes right back. He goes, I'm thinking to myself, and what alternate universe do the Gators win? Hey, man, anything can happen on any given Saturday, as they say. You go in there and don't play your best game, man. Anything can happen, bro. But I'm with you. No, I don't think the Gators are going to have a good football team. But thanks again, man, for them $10, Jeff. Let's do this one.
Tallahassee on with the Seminoles. I've been getting to this paper, focus on my goals. Trying to run his money up and pull up in a row. All this talking gangster, that shit getting old.
Brock over Tate. Yeah, we got to relax. I think Brock might have a bright future, but if you think for 1 second, true freshman Brock Glenn over Tate Rodemaker right now, again, just calm down a little bit. Just relax a tad bit. Just relax. Just relax. It's okay. Just relax. Adding Keon is definitely insurance. Tate can do work with big body receivers. How you feel? How you feel about Kevin Knowles as a back end safety? The problem is Kevin Knowles won't be available to play until like mid-season. He may miss the season, and that's coming from Kevin Knowles himself. That's the issue. I would not. He might be better there than he is at the nickel. Might be. So I think Kevin Knowles, if he was healthy, would probably be one of those guys that they would experiment with, whether he's a nickel back in the safety rotation somewhere around there. Terrell, what's good with you? Tyler, what's good with you? Oh, shoot. Yeah. So what shirt y'all want? Let me know, man. Matter of fact, hold on. Look, if y'all go to my page, go to the YouTube page. My email is in the About tab. By all means, man, let me know your size. I don't have a link to it, right? So it's not like you can order it. I'm not that advanced yet. But let me know the size you want, and especially if you've been a member for, of course I can see who's been a member for longer than like a month. So if you just join, I'm sorry, it's not going to really work for you. But if you've been a member for a duration of this time, I'll just send you one. Someone like Jeff, who always donates, again, hit my email, man. Let me know who it is. Let me make sure my email's even. I believe it's in here. Yeah, you just got to click view my email. I check my emails like almost every day. So hit the email, man. Give me a size. Shoot your address. I'm not going to promise I'm not going to show up at your house. For those people that have won prizes on the channel before, they know I send them. I ain't going to be a creep and like stalk you. So send me your address, send me your size, and I got y'all, man. I got y'all. First shirts will be on me for the members and key contributors. Yeah, I saw the video too and was completely disagree with his opinion. No way we're losing to the Gators because nearly everyone are in agreement that they're going to be bad. You get a lot of zone blitzes out of cover 3, but Fuller just straight man. And he will run a twist or stunt. But if we don't beat Clemson, I'm over it. What you drinking? Tonight I'm on just Tito's vodka, bro. Nothing crazy, nothing serious. Tito's. But I feel you. I'm with you too. I've been saying it from jump. I've been saying it since December of last year. This next season is all about Clemson. LSU is going to be a huge game. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be epic. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an amazing time. But this season's all about Clemson. And at some point, with the team we think we're fielding, if you can't beat Clemson, like you said, you're kind of over it, right? Got to beat Clemson. If you can't beat Clemson, then I do think some major changes are going to have to happen. Do I think we can go undefeated? I think if you go 4-0 to start the season, I'm willing to have an undefeated conversation. And I know that might be a cop-out to some, like, well, duh, go 4-0 and you beat the 2 hardest teams. But, hey, that's the way the schedule's set up. It's hard for me right now. Look, again, LSU is going to be epic. If you haven't been paying attention to LSU and what we've done great things in the portal, LSU continues to add pieces in the portal. For a team that is so much talent, as they say, something about that they weren't so happy with it. They revamped their entire secondary pretty much through the portal, including that D-line. And they're going to be getting Mason Smith back. LSU's got some, man, listen, that defense, though I'm not sold on their secondary as much. They got a lot of names. I don't know, man. When you throw those many loose, when you throw all that loose change and try to make $1, man, you might be missing a few pennies or something. Because I'm not so. I got to see that secondary in action. I would give our wide receivers the edge over that secondary right now. but they got a lot of names. I think they added Denver Harris, but they got a lot of guys. They added the Syracuse Chestnut. I think they added some pieces, but are you going to have them up to speed by the time you play this offense? That we're pretty much returning the same exact offense. You're just adding Bell and Coleman. Man, but the undefeated is you win those first four, and it's a legit conversation because no one's as talented as those first two teams, as not first two, but as no one on your schedule is Clemson or LSU, meaning talent level and coaching. Because while Miami and Florida, to a degree, let's be honest, they have talent, they're not very well coached. I don't know. Napier, I don't think he can coach. And we know Mario Cristobal can't coach. Noles looks bigger than Jamie. So Kevin Knowles said that out of his own mouth. I don't think Knowles is bigger than Jamie. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm gonna try to make the first one. I got you, Jeff. Like I said, man, Jeff, the first shirt free, bro. You've already paid for your shirt as far as I'm concerned. You just donated $20 the night. I mean, you just paid, you just paid for your shirt. Actually donated more, didn't you? Didn't you go 5 first and then 2 $10 donations? Yeah. So there you go. Where was I at? My only worry about this hype is that we are in the rankings are overvaluing some of the portal additions. Buyer, Cypress Fist. They could all be dude. There's some truth to that. Here's the good. But Briley, this is where I'm gonna try to talk you off of that point. And you're not making a bad point. But I think your point would be there'd be more emphasis on it if we were depending on Fisk like we were depending on Verse last year, because you could have said the same thing about Verse last year. As a matter of fact, I did. And I take onus of that. But if y'all remember, I wasn't so sure Verse was going to come in and be the guy that he was. I thought he needed time to adapt to the next level of college football. I thought he'd be a good 5 or 6 sack guy, show some flashes. I didn't think he would be the guy he ended up being year one. The great news about Fisk, even if he ain't as good as he was at Western Michigan, he don't necessarily have to be, because you got Fabian Lovett and you got Jackson if he gets his waiver. You got Farmer. Fisk is adding into a major rotation of guys. Verse was a standalone. If Verse doesn't be who he was last year, we don't have a pass rush until until he's ready. Let's just call it what it is. Well, you're not asking that of Fisk. You're not asking that of Byers. Newsflash, I'm not so sure Byers starts, y'all. We've talked about this offensive line. Go watch the spring game and go watch Dante Anderson and some of them boys do some work on Byers. Granted, Byers was probably playing out of position. He's probably more of an interior guy. During the spring, he was at tackle spot. But with Meach coming back, we talked about it when Meach announced he was coming back and he got his waiver cleared. That is a great problem to have. I'm not so sure. The same way I can say I'm not so sure Meach starts, I'm not so sure there's a guy that beats out Demetrius Emmanuel. Cypress is the only guy that they're going to probably be asking a lot out of. That's probably the only guy that they're going to be asking to live up to the preseason portal ranking that he got. But Byers and Fisk and some of these other guys, they're entering major rotations. They're just adding to the depth. Fisk is not going to – if Fisk is that guy, then holy hell. But he don't need to be that guy because you already got those guys. Fisk just needs to be a quality rotation player. Byers just needs to be ready when his name is called, if he's not the starter. If we were solely depending on those guys, you'd have a great point, though. Like if we were bringing Byers in to be the tackle from day one, you might have a point. But Bless Harris looked amazing in the spring. Probably going to slide to your left. Probably going to slide Robert Scott to the right. Holy hell. Look at that tackle room. Roddick looked good. Meach is Meach. If we manage to make it to the playoffs, will we have enough time? It all depends on matchups, bro. Hell, because I think last year, depending on like USC is considered one of the top teams last year. If they do what they're supposed to do, they would have been in the playoff. I stand by. I think Florida State could have beat USC last year. I think last state's Florida State team could have beaten USC. I believe that. Because if you look at the team that USC struggled against, that Utah team, and I want you to go actually watch the game. Where did they struggle? What do you think? They struggled blocking. They struggled at the point of attack. They struggled with physicality. I think we could have beat them. It's all about matchups. Depending on how the playoff shakes up, it's going to be all about matchups. Would you rather FSU go SEC or Big? Which conference you feeling? Again, I've been on the Big for a while. I would not mind either one, obviously. SEC has a lot of great matchups. SEC has a lot of games that we've played, a lot of teams that we've played. The Auburns, the Georgias, Alabamas. Florida State has a history of playing obviously, you got to play the SEC teams at Florida State, whether it's Auburn in the national championship. I mean, Georgia, we had to play Georgia in the Sugar Bowl. We played, obviously, LSU this year. We've played Kentucky in a bowl game a long time ago, but I remember that game. We lost that game. We've played SEC teams on a regular basis. So from that standpoint, plus those are the teams that you're going to be really competing with in terms of recruiting. You probably want to say the SEC. Don't have to travel too far. I get all of that. But maybe from a money standpoint, you like the Big Ten more. I kind of like the Big Ten more. I think it's some fresh matchups. I think it's intriguing. Florida State potentially going to LA every other year or something like that and playing USC or UCLA. Like Florida State and Ohio State. I mean, Florida State, Michigan. I think good matchups. I don't think you lose wherever you go. Man, Jeff, now you done added some more money to your shirt game. The problem I have with some of these channels that predict wins and losses, like the one guy, the excuse he gave, they're playing at home. We can play on planet Pluto and beat the Gators. I hear you, man. I'm with you. People act like you can't go into other stadiums and win games. The Swamp ain't been the Swamp as it used to be in a long time. So to pretend like Florida's somehow like this undefeated juggernaut at home, I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. Will Norvell have a Wildcat QB? Not JT. Corbin was huge in short yardage, red zone. Here's the beauty. You know what? That's a great question. They tried some direct snaps last year with like a Trey shot. I would argue, bro, you don't need to do that. I don't think you need to try any Wildcat. Now, if you want to mix it up, I mean, I guess it's something that you got in the tool bag in case you need to bring it out or whatever the case. I don't know but I don't think it's a necessity at this point. I think FSU is going to be able to line it up and run it when they want to. Line it up and drop back and pass when they want to. Again, if you want to get a little cute, maybe you do a direct snap every now and then. But like pure Wildcat stuff, I mean, I could be wrong, right? Obviously, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's a necessity. You still coming to Miami after Orlando? I don't know what I'm gonna do. I usually do try to make my way down to South Florida. Usually, but last time for the bowl game we didn't. We just stayed in Central Florida. Y'all know my wife is from South Florida, so I usually try to make my way down there. But we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. Email. So you go to Like if you just click on my actual YouTube page, you know how you got the cover page where you see 86370 TV as the header. Go to the About tab. Okay. Matter of fact, let me. I'm gonna show you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna share screen. Hold on, give me a second. Share screen. We're gonna do a step-by-step tutorial. Make sure y'all can see. Let's change it. No, I don't like that at all. There you go. Step-by-step tutorial right here. Let me take Tyler's comment off. So there you see. Oh, so if you just click on my page, that's the home page. You see the video that's playing as we speak. Obviously, everything under here. Go all the way over to About. Scroll down. For business inquiries, it says view email. There you go. Just click on it right there. There's the email. Obviously, you click on the link. There you go. I hope that helped you, Tyler. Hope that helped you. That might have been the best tutorial I've ever done. I'm pretty proud of myself on that one. Will Norvell have a? Oh, I just read that one. Corey Hall, bro, appreciate you with the $5, man. Let's go with this one.
Bitch, be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
Point taken. But those guys, even as rotational pieces, are the difference between good and great. It's not a huge worry. Rather, one of my only concerns, but not living up to expectations. Understand? I just think. Look, I just think you should. I just don't think you need to worry, because even what is the expectation for Fisk? I guess is what. Even if he doesn't, but Fisk can give you enough stats that Fabo is still great. Obviously, if Fabo stays healthy, right? I guess that's kind of where I'm coming from. Like, even if Byers isn't great, is he serviceable if a guy needs to take a breath or gets hurt? I think that's kind of just where I'm at. I think if we were solely depending on Fisk to be Jarrett versus last year, then I'm with you, bro. We could be in trouble. We could have been in trouble last year, but I just think the amount of players that are going to rotate with Fisk, I just think Fisk just got to be serviceable. And if he is, good point, though. If he is great, then holy cow. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to join the SEC and play those crazy physical games every week. Health will become an issue. Hell, we can barely stay healthy in the ACC. Well, it's all about the depth. I think we have gotten better under a better strength and conditioning program. I think Josh Storms has done a good job. I appreciate your honesty, Marcus, but I just look, if Vanderbilt can play a freaking SEC schedule every year, I'm not going to curse because I'm not there yet, but freaking Florida State can play an SEC schedule. So if Vanderbilt and Kentucky, come on, Florida State can play an SEC schedule. I would ACC. So here's the crazy thing. As much as we talk about SEC and the Big Ten, ACC made more money than the Pac-12 and the Big 12. So makes no sense for Florida State to join either one of those conferences. RA, what's up? RA Nixon in the building. I like what they did. Hold up. I like what they did with DJ on the goal line. I think they'll do some of that stuff on the goal line with Jaheim. I do. As a matter of fact, I think he takes all of that. I don't think. Now they might just throw Lundy a few bones, but I'm not sure they do. I don't want to hedge my bet. I'm gonna just say it here now. I don't think we see DJ Lundy at fullback this year because I don't think you have to see him. Those snaps go to Jaheim Bell. I think you put Jaheim Bell at. Jaheim Bell is the size of DJ Lundy almost. He's taller, maybe not so much, but you remember DJ Lundy lost and got to 230. That's where Jaheim Bell's at in that 230 range. So then Jaheim Bell might be bigger than DJ Lundy from a height and weight standpoint. I don't think there's a need to throw DJ Lundy out there anymore. Save him for defense. Black Ops. I haven't played Black Ops, the first one, in a while. What are you playing that on? PlayStation 3? What is it? And then the first Black Ops come out on like PS3? I have a question. Do you need a website for your podcast? Your channel is growing. I can design it and need someone to get. I tell you what, Terrell. I don't know if you follow me on any social media. If you do, feel free to DM me. If you don't, just email me and we can talk business. We can talk some business. So yeah, man, like we've been talking hype versus reality, and for me, that's just where I lie with it. Like, I'm all for this hype, and I think for the most part, man, I think all the hype matches the reality. I really do. I think Florida State. Are there questions to answer? Yes, but every team, there's not one team that's going into this season that doesn't have questions to answer. I don't care what team. You want to talk about Georgia, the back-to-back national champs? They still have questions because Stetson Bennett's gone. What is Kirby Smart going to do with the next quarterback? You feel me? Because the way he handled Justin Fields and the Jake Fromm's and he had a bad reputation of handling quarterbacks up until Stetson Bennett. So there's questions for Georgia. There's questions for Ohio State. What are they? What's Ohio State going to be post CJ Stroud? What's Alabama's quarterback situation post Bryce Young? Is Cade Klubnik the next big thing at Clemson? Every team is going to be fielding some questions. So I hate this. I don't like the mentality of Florida State has all this. Every team's got them. But we're returning a quarterback that we all expect to be very, very, if not great. We have less questions, in my opinion, than all these other teams because we return all the production. My biggest questions for the Seminoles in 2023 is, does another defensive end emerge outside of Pat Payton and Jared Verse? I like those two. I question, is there another guy? Does Gilbert Edmond show that the spring he was just going through the motions and he's ready to, or does Dante Anderson or Byron Turner show up and show out? Jaden Jones is another one. That's my question defensively, is really because I think if we get that proper pass rush down in and down out, I think the back end take cares of itself. And someone brought that point up before in the chat. If we can rush the passer, bro, while the safety room might not be that deep, I think we'll be all right. I think we'll make the job easier. While the corners may be a little iffy, even though I think we got two good. I think Cypress and Ronaldo Green are going to be good with Greedy Vance and AZ and Jerry and Jones in the rotations all over the place. I think our corner room is actually, very, very, very solid, if not really good. I question the safety, but if our pass rush is the front seven as a whole, I think our linebackers are actually really damn good too. So my questions, pass rush. Does another pass rusher emerge somewhere? That's my only question defensively. Offensively, the only question I have offensively, honestly, my biggest question offensively is I'm curious to how we play. My biggest question offensively is, how do we approach this season? Because we've added so much to the pass game, but we are a running football team. We are, since Mike has been here, even year one and that the COVID year, with Damian Webb and Jayshon Corbin were really the highlights of the offense. The 5 and 7 year two, Jayshon Corbin again, highlight of the offense. When nothing else worked, whether it was Mackenzie Milton or whatever, when nothing else worked, we could run the damn football. And of course, last year, we would run the football. My biggest question offensively is, do we change our identity on offense? Because everything you added says you finna air this shit out next year. I worry a little bit if we're dropping Jordan Travis 40 times a game. Not saying he can't do it, but I worry. I don't know if we go that far, but I'm interested to see. That's my question. That's my question. Offensively, what do we do? How do we look? What's the game plan? Defensively, do more pass rushers emerge to cover up what may be some secondary weaknesses? Those are my two questions going into 2023. Hype is definitely increasing. Recruiting interest. June going to be the best kind of busy. Big Ten is the easier path to the playoff for sure. But I'm tired of people acting like Mizzou, Vandy, Kentucky. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you basically said what I said. Like if Vandy and all these other teams can play this SEC schedule, let's stop acting like Florida State can't line it up week in and week out. Yeah, we need an end and a linebacker to step up and pray to God and above that the safety stays healthy. John Shields in the building. What's going on with you? Good to see you. I watched an interview today from Mike, and he basically said that this is a team that established, and that's what I want. That's what I want. And I'm glad he's saying that. But in practice, I want to see if, I want to see, because I'm pretty confident that he's right. Well, obviously, he's the head coach, so what he says is, what he says. But I'm pretty confident that he sticks to what he says, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If Kenny was here, I'm not so confident. If Kenny Dillingham was here, I'm not so confident that would be the case. But I still want to see it, because you don't add Keon Coleman. I think Florida State ran the ball 54% of the times last year. I don't know if you add Bell and Coleman and Morlock, and you're getting Winston right back, and you honored the Dustin Hill commitment from 2 years ago, and you say, yeah, we're still going to run the ball 54 times. Might be more of a 50-50 game, which does mean you're still going to pass the ball more, right? I'm just interested to see how that plays out and how I just want to see it in execution is what I'm saying. I want to see it. Gators added a JUCO running back today, as if they don't have any other holes. Those turds are convinced they're going to be able to run the ball with no passing threat. Look, the running back position is the one position that they're actually good at. The problem with the running backs is that it's not the same O-line that they had last year at all. That's the problem with the Gators. They actually have talented backs. ETN's little brother. Who's the other guy they had? I think his name is Jones. I don't remember his name, but he came with Billy from Louisiana. They have some talented backs. But without that O-line, so yeah, I'm with you. Taking another running back, I don't know. The team will still be run first. I hope so. I hope so. Do you think they run a little more up-tempo offense? I definitely think we picked the pace up this year for sure. Definitely think we're going to pick the pace up. Definitely think so. Because if you're going to be able to almost run and pass on whatever down you feel like you can do, well, that keeps the defense not only on its heels with the pace, but now they're guessing. Because where before, you get, let's say you run on first down, you get 6 yards. A 2nd and 4 is anything you want to call, bro. Because you still got 3rd and 4. And on a 2nd and 4 where you've picked up the pace, I can go deep to Coleman. I can do something with Bell on a sweep, or I could just give it to Trey Benson. I can do a quick RPO, and if the pass ain't there, give it off. If the run's there, or whatever, do a quick slant on an RPO game. I got to throw the wheel route to 12 on a 2nd and short. I can do anything I want to do. If you're routinely ahead of the chains, yeah, you could. That's how offense kills. And we're expecting to have the best O-line we've had since 2013. At least I am. So I think we should routinely be ahead of the chains. I will use. Bet. Appreciate that, Terrell. Yeah, let me see what you got, bro. We can do business. Don't worry about it. We can definitely do some work. No team today is winning a chip throwing it 40 times a game. Well, I don't know about that. I know Georgia's won the last 2 years. How many times did Stetson throw the ball? Stetson threw for four. Stetson threw for like 4,000 yards last year, or something like that. And I don't have it. I don't. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up. Stetson threw the ball a bunch of times. I'm figure it out real quick. Give me a minute. Let me see how many times exactly he did throw the ball. Why can't I find the stats? I hate you, ESPN. Let's see. All right, Stetson Bennett. Last year, he threw for 4,100 yards, and he had his attempts doubled from 2021. So he had 445 attempts. So if I do the math, gotta use my calculator because I'm no math whiz. But let me pull out the calculator real quick. Do some basic math, right? Basic math says if I take 455 attempts and divide that by I don't know. Hold on, is that? Let me see. 15 games. So divide that by 15 games. He threw the ball 30 times. So to your point, it wasn't quite 40. But hell, 30 is still 30, threw the ball 30 times a game. 4,100 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 INTs. No, I hear you. My point was that they got talented running backs, right? So even if Murder Mertz can't complete a pass, you can rely on your running game. But if your offensive line isn't the same old line from last year, but I'm with you. Murder Mertz can't do. That guy don't strike fear in my heart at all. The far as we go in the season and the playoffs, we got to stay healthy. As long as we don't have any serious injuries, we will be okay. I still think at certain position, again, especially offensively, guys, I don't think injuries derail much. Obviously, the quarterback, but every team can say that. Like, I don't care what you think. Any team, if K Klubnik goes down for Clemson, they are screwed. And that goes for any team. If TVD goes down for Miami, they already suck. You lose TVD, they're going to look exactly like they looked last. Ja'Cory Brown, I mean, we'll see. But come on. Anybody think Ja'Cory Brown's really got better? Murder Mertz goes down. Any team in the country, you lose your starting quarterback. Most teams are taking a huge dip. Outside of quarterback, I believe Florida State can sustain some injuries, especially on the offensive line. Like, especially on the interior of the O-line, I don't have too much worries there. Wide receiver, I mean, hey, feel pretty good about running back, tight end. So I'm not wishing for any injuries. Obviously, I do think Florida State can withstand some injuries offensively for sure. Defensively is where I would be like, because we got some depth, but it's all young, like linebacker. But when you get past Lundy, Bethune, and DeLoach, young. That's all freshmen, bro. That's Blake Nicholson. That's I always say the North Texas kid because I forget his name. That's Ward. Yeah, it's all young players. Omar Graham, who I think can be good, but that's a redshirt freshman. Everybody young in that linebacker room. If you lose one or two of your backers, same thing with defensive end. If Pat Averse goes down, holy hell! Now you're relying on Byron Turner and Dante Anderson, Jaden Jones, who's coming from a JUCO, Lamont Green Jr., Aaron Hester. Is he even really a defensive end? What is Aaron Hester? Defensively is where I worry. Offensively, I don't worry too much. Shouldn't our defense be able to shut down other teams' running game and force them to throw? Because last year we gave up way too many rushing yards. We gave up a lot of when Fable got hurt, we was hurting. Um, I look very forward to watching Fabian Lovett be healthy, and I think he can sustain his health again. Especially, we got to get Jackson to get this waiver. I ultimately think he gets it. Um, but you talk about a rotation of Lovett and Jackson and Farmer and Fisk and Lyons and Malcolm Ray. Like we can just throw bodies. Does Tafasi get in that mix? You bringing in a freshman in KJ Sampson, who still I don't think he plays, but you got an option there. I think the point is all of those players, especially those first players I mentioned, is let's Fable, I think, be able to stay healthy. Now, granted, injuries can still happen. People ankles get rolled on all the time in the trenches. So my hope is Fabian Lovett stays healthy, and I think that helps obviously the run defense. That's true too, coming from Tyler. You know, you got a lot of these stats that we talk about with some of these teams, like people talk about Jameis. Jameis threw for 40 TDs and 4,000 yards, playing 2 quarters. Imagine if the man played 4 quarters of football. The man would have threw for 5,000 yards plus, and probably 50. Like seriously, right? So when you talk about these teams that are blowing teams out, like he said, Stetson Bennett threw the ball 30 times a game. If we talk about maybe the other quarterbacks that played while Stetson Bennett was on the bench, how many times? Georgia might have threw the ball about 40 times a game. Might have. Kind of off topic of what? Because they're me and y'all know Jerd. Me and Jerd talk about that all the time. I have no idea if you're a 5-star quarterback, why in the hell would you put your faith in Georgia? Now, I'm not hating on Georgia. You can't hate on a 2-time champion. But I do believe programs and certain programs fit certain positions. This isn't Mark Richt, Georgia anymore. When they had Matthew Stafford and Aaron Murray and them boys, I wouldn't. If I'm a quarterback, I'm sorry, I'm not going to Georgia. I'm not doing it. You can't get me to Georgia. They messed up Justin Fields that he had to go to Ohio State. Jake Fromm was what exactly? Stetson Bennett, I don't think he does anything in the NFL, but we'll see. I would not go to Georgia if I was a quarterback. That's a great, bro. I talk about this all. You bring it up almost like be known with me, and we be talking about in the chats. But I'm with you. I have no idea why 5-star K would ever commit to Georgia as a quarterback. Defensive line, hell yeah. Go look the draft. Hell yeah. If I'm a defensive lineman, why are you not going to Georgia? If you play defensive end, if you play the defensive line, if you're a defensive lineman or a linebacker and you're not going to Georgia, you're probably not that, like if you go to Georgia. But quarterback, I'll go anywhere but Georgia if I was a quarterback. I honestly don't. I got to be honest with you, Briley. I see that trending a lot. Some people have actually picked Duke to upset Clemson opening game. I'll watch. I think Mike Elko is a hell of a coach. I just don't see it though. I don't think Duke has the players. But I'm gonna be interested to watch. I think that we're expecting it, or people are expecting Duke to challenge Clemson early. I wouldn't be shocked if Clemson wins like 42-7 or something like that. I personally, but we'll see. We'll see. Defense next year. If you pull back the curtain on it, bro, if people want to criticize and say I be being pessimistic sometimes, and I don't think I am, but if you really want to pull back the curtain on the DBs, there's some questions. Guys have to step up. I'm less concerned about backer if Omar Graham's the real deal. But again, you sustain, excuse me, even if Omar Graham is the real deal, if you sustain more than one injury, now you're counting on, again, one of these freshmen. Safety. I've drilled safety for a while now. Shaheem Brown and Akeem Dent, cool. I'm cool with that. It's not the greatest safety pairing in FSU history, but I'm cool with it for now. Even Shaheem Brown has some questions. Can he actually be a full-time starter? But I'm cool. But God forbid one of those guys get hurt. Because y'all can't even tell me who the second string y'all can't even tell me who the second string safety is. Right now, who's the first safety off the bench if Dent or Shaheem Brown goes down? Please. Great question for the chat. Akeem Dent, Shaheem Brown, one of them go down. Who's the first safety off the bench? Who's good luck answering it, but I'm interested to see what y'all think. I have a thought, but I'm interested to see what y'all think. Like Tyler said, if you pull back some of the layers on that defense, it can start to look a little concerning. Those concerns can be masked if the D line is what we think it can be. If another defensive end, if you're telling me that I can, on any given play, I can rest Pat and Verse because I have one more DN that gives me some quality snaps, some quality run, like I'm less concerned because I can start to mask some of my deficiencies in the back end. But I want to know, who's the first safety off the bench? What are your realistic expectations for Morlock coming from low-level college? How quick is learning curve? Because you got Bell, because Biscuit is no slouch, I think you can ease Morlock in there. He's a defensive nightmare because he's 6'7", and he plays that position where he can be deceptively quick, depending on who they decide to put on him. I think they use him as a blocker initially. So the beautiful thing I think about the tight end room, Jaheim Bell is the obvious receiving threat. Biscuit is really a combination of Morlock and Bell. That guy can block, but he is a sneaky good. I said this all the time about Biscuit last year. Underrated hands. I watched Cam McDonald drop tons of passes, and I don't want to knock Cam McDonald because he's about to go play in the NFL and do his thing. Hopefully, he's definitely getting an opportunity. He didn't have the greatest hands. I can't recall a pass that Biscuit ever dropped. Morlock, I think, is going to initially be used to block. But because you can literally pair Biscuit with any of the two, they could line up, and you see Biscuit and Morlock out there, and as a defense, you're going to say, "Oh, this should be a running play." They block heavy. They're trying to run block. They about they got the blocking tight ends in. And this is where I think you now can exploit the mismatches that Morlock and Biscuit can create. More so Morlock. I think you initially present him as a blocker. As he gets more adjusted to the game, and we'll see, at 6'7", you got to throw him balls. You got to get him out there. Terrell, what good QB has Kirby Smart produced? Whoa, Terrell, you lost me there, bro. What's up, Peter? You lost me there, Terrell. You lost me there. Name me one good quarterback Kirby's produced. I mean, if you want to go Stetson, I'll give you Stetson Bennett. Good college quarterback. I don't know what he's going to be in the play, but he had a good college career. I mean, he's a two-time national champion. I can't knock Stetson Bennett. But on a real serious note, if I'm an NFL scout, am I going to look at Georgia for quarterbacks? Curious. Morlock looks really fluid. He's a mismatch nightmare, regardless of level. As long as he plays with physicality and learns the system, I think he's solid. Good stuff. Briley Stetson, and he is product of Nick Saban for Kirby Smart. I mean, yes, he is a product of Nick Saban. That doesn't mean, bro, until Nick Saban got Lane Kiffin and started changing up his offense, name me the quarterback Nick Saban was able to produce that was worth a damn. What's up, Panama Jack? By the way, guys, hitting my like button. I didn't even check the likes. I haven't been worrying about the likes lately. You know, I trust my chat, to be honest with y'all. I trust you guys. Usually, when I go look at my videos, y'all usually come through. Even if the likes aren't initially high, by the time the video's over and everybody's watched, y'all all usually hit the like button. But just a little quick reminder, man, hit the like button if you don't mind, as we are still in here going strong. 51 people in here on a Thursday night. Memorial Day weekend is live and in effect. It's a long weekend for me. I hope it's a long weekend for you. And then why not get it started on 863 Seminole TV? 5-star QBs go to Georgia because of weapons that surround them. It's all about the weapons. That's fair enough. But if at the end of the day, it should be about going to the NFL. And again, what quarterback is Georgia putting in the NFL? The softball team is doing very well, and then we usually have one of the better softball we have one of the better softball programs in the nation. So shout out to the lady Noles of the softball team. I don't think it will be. Again, when you add Keon Coleman, I think I said this when we got him. You go back and watch, I think that was last week's stream. You go back and watch that stream. And it's hard for me to quantify it and say that Keon Coleman's worth a win. But I think he's worth a win. If you had Keon Coleman against NC State, you beat him. You beat him. If you call that last play that Jordan Travis True for the interception, and I know people, you go back and watch the live stream. Y'all know one of the beautiful things about me, the instant reaction live streams after the game. I love doing them, and the chat's always live. We have a lot of fun on them. But go watch. I didn't even blame Jordan Travis for it. I blamed, in large part, I blamed the play calling because I thought the play calling was a bit predictable there. And I had to blame Micah Pittman because he got out-muscled for that ball. Does Keon Coleman get out-muscled for it? Do you throw that ball to Keon Coleman or Micah Pittman in that situation? We upgraded. And that's not a knock on Micah Pittman, man. I wish him all the best at Utah. But we upgraded. When your starting three receivers are Winston Wright, Keon Coleman, and Johnny Wilson, ooh, we upgraded. I can't wait to watch Winston Wright. The point, though, I think Coleman's worth at least the W because I don't think, even if a Johnny's having an off game where he's just dropping everything, what are the chances that both him and Coleman are dropping everything? Like that's where I'm at with it. What are the chances that Keon Coleman and Johnny are both having an off game at the same time? I don't think the chances of that are high. Look, man, it's Mike Norvell with the braids. Go Noles, Mike Norvell with the braids. The defense is going to be super young in 24. Next year, we got an experienced defense. Fabian Lovett, Jared Verse, Pat Payton, redshirt sophomore, so he's a 3-year college player. Bethune, a senior. Deloach, senior. Lundy, I think, is a redshirt junior. Cypress, senior. Ronaldo Green, senior. Keem Dent, senior. Shaheem Brown should be a redshirt sophomore. We got a pretty experienced defense next year. It's that 24 defense that I'm very young. You're losing probably all 3 of your linebackers. Maybe Lundy comes back, maybe not. But next 2024 is where we get super young across the board defensively. Defensive depth and overall recruiting makes me think Fuller is the guy before the guy. That's fair. That is fair. Again, I'm defending Fuller until he makes me, like I always do. I always tell y'all, I take a stance, but when facts present themselves, I am not afraid to change that. I was not on the Fuller bandwagon initially. But again, show me the defensive coordinator that's going from 100 and whatever, 120 something to top 60 to top 15. Should be a top 10 defense this year. I would like to think so. We'll see. But I agree, man. If you look at some of the things, I still think FSU has some coaching changes that we need done. Like, look, man, I'm tired of I just read a comment that I'll get to. You just completely made my holy cow. Look, man, I love this guy's YouTube channel, but this comment just completely made me lose train of thought. If Jaden Floyd is the next safety off the bench, and I think Perry's answering the question that I asked earlier, is who is the next safety off the bench? If it's Jaden freaking Floyd, y'all can cancel any playoff talk. I'm telling you right now, cancel Christmas. And I love his channel. I think Jaden Floyd is a great young man, a great kid. I don't know him, but from what I see, man, great kid. Come on. I agree with Briley right here, though. Again, I'm assuming y'all know I'm a little behind in the chat. If they're answering the question, I think Briley's hit the nail on the head. That's my thought process as well. I think if someone got hurt, AZ would be the guy that they would put out there. So I agree. I agree with Briley. I hope it wouldn't be Jaden Floyd. Let me go back to what I was trying to say here, if I can even remember it. Let's talk about Fuller being the next man up. I can't even remember where I was going with it, Tyler. That comment made me just completely lose an entire train of thought. Defensive depth and the overall recruiting makes me think Fuller is the guy before the guy. I was about to talk about Randy. Defensively, there's some position groups we should change. And what I was gonna say is I'm tired of Florida. I've been a Florida State fan a long time. I can't speak for everybody. 2013 wasn't the first time I watched the freaking Seminoles, okay? A rich linebacker history with this program. I can name names that could be considered some of the greatest backers in the history. You're talking Biletnikoff winners here, bro. We're talking the Marvin Jones Jr.'s. I don't think Derek Brooks run a Biletnikoff, but Derek Brooks, obviously. Freaking Sam Cowart. Ernie Sims, Lawrence Timmons, Vince Williams. Like, I can name backer after backer after backer. I am tired of the way co-host in the back. Hey, man, you got to turn that down. What's wrong?
I want some juice.
Okay, give me a minute. You want juice? Okay. Got to get the kids some juice. Point I'm making here. I'm tired of our linebacker recruiting, bro. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of our linebacker recruiting. You're talking about a once proud history of backer. Like this program spit linebackers out. Nigel Bradham. We can go on. I'm talking about not only good college backers, but guys that went to the NFL. Lawrence Timmons had a hell of a career as a Steeler. Nigel Bradham had a hell of a career. We can go on and on. And then I look, and I don't want to. Let me be clear. This is an attack on the young men that committed to this school. I hope they turn out great. But damn it. I'm looking at these unranked backers. I'm looking at guys I've never heard of. And the expectation is, again, if you want to recruit Blake Nicholson, who I have all the hope for, I really do. Like Blake Nicholson, 4-star finally. But like I said before, what's the probability that every 3-star you get is this diamond in the rough. It's not very high. And you can listen to whoever you want to listen to as a fan tell you that all these guys are gems. Y'all know y'all not going to get that from me because it's just not realistic. It's not realistic that DeMarco Ward and this other kid out of North Texas, and the other kid that's an unranked linebacker that we got in this class. All these guys are just gems. They're just all these guys. I'm tired of that. I would love our linebacker recruiting to get back to the way it used to be. So that's my rant. That's my rant. Todd says he's actually talking about 24. Actually, sorry, but yeah, you're right. I think if a starter goes down, I think a corner slides over there. People might not want to hear it, but maybe that guy is Ronaldo. I push back. The reason I push back on Ronaldo had his best season as a corner. I don't know if you do that to him and move him to safety. I would give AZ that try. I understand that like AZ's length at corner, but AZ was a safety in high school. I've always thought AZ could play either, but if you had to move a guy who I thought skill set fit safety, I always thought it was AZ. Our front seven has to dominate LSU and Clemson, take pressure off for secondary. Right now, Ronaldo is our best corner. Can't slide him to safety unless Cypress steps up in the fall. Ronaldo has experience at the position. I'm more likely to trust that versus AZ attempting to make transition as a true sophomore. I think AZ did not play in 4 games. AZ might have just played in 4 games last year. I think AZ got that red shirt. I could be wrong. I think AZ is a red shirt freshman, though. And that Jeff makes a solid point himself. If you can keep the guys healthy for at least 4 to 5 weeks, then maybe you can throw Hussey out there eventually. Absolutely right. Keep guys healthy for 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then you can get Kirkland to speed. You can get Conrad Hussey to speed and Edwin Joseph to speed. So I think Jeff makes a great point there. As long as we're not throwing guys out there too early, freshmen can contribute, but you just need that. You just need that time. I didn't want to watch it, but I was curious to who was on defensive side during the 5 and 7 season. All the highlights were against Gaynor, number 12, Travis J, and Gant getting burnt and missing tackles. You don't move your best corner to safety. I agree with that. Again, I'm with you. I'm with Briley on this, Tyler. I'm sorry. But Ronaldo has his best year. I don't think you do that to him, his confidence, because you think AZ might physically look more the part. Your best bet is to move AZ, in my opinion, to safety, just because he's more recently played the position. And that worst case, they did it with Ramsey, right? Ramsey played safety to start his career, and they were able to move him to corner. I think that's the better trajectory, is you start a guy out at safety and then move him to corner. Don't go to corner to safety, because he just, I get what you're saying. He has more experience there because that's what his previous position, but he showed that he's actually better, at the corner position. My only problem with Greedy is his size. I don't think Greedy's a slouch. I do think Greedy's small. Terrence, I didn't even know you was on here, man. Hold on. You want me to send you a link? Why not? Well, let me see. Hold on. Let me ask the people. Terrence, they might not want to talk to you. Y'all want to see Terrence? I'm going to ask the people. Let me catch up in the chat. I'm a little bit behind. FSU me being soft on Shannon, man, don't get me on that, bro. Yeah, that's it. Can tell I'm behind a little bit because y'all are Just now talking about that linebacker rant I went on. Marvin Jones, Paul McGowan, Derrick Brooks, Darrell Bush, Coward, Polly. Thank you. That's my point. I need to stop sleeping on Jaden Floyd? No. You need to wake up. Sam McCall looks a little worse now, right? Absolutely. I'm with you. Like, Sam McCall looks a little worse. All right, let me bring in you, Terrence. The people have said they want you, Terrence. And if the people don't want you, Terrence, I ain't going to bring you in here. Let me bring Terrence in here, man. Give me a minute, Terrence. Let me drop the link in the chat. Man, Terrence, shouldn't you be getting ready for the party, bro? You're supposed to be cooking some chicken lollipops for us. Let me get Terrence up in here. Here you go, Terrence. I put it in the group chat. Don't hit that link. Greedy stepped in for Noles when he was getting cooked by. No, Greedy's a good player. He's undersized. So do y'all not remember the Wake Forest play where Greedy got his lunch took? Greedy's in great position because Greedy's a smart, heady football player. He was physically just outmatched, if y'all remember the play I'm talking about. Again, I think Greedy is a good player. I think Greedy is no slouch. I think Greedy has a dog mentality. Greedy Vance lacks some measurables that I don't care how good you are. If the other guy's just bigger, stronger, more physical than you, you see, like you saw in that Wake Forest play. And that might have been, was that A.T. Perry that might have did that on? I don't remember the receiver that did that on Greedy. But I was like, holy, Greedy had a pick, and he just got manhandled. Bro, if AZ is like that, I almost think he needs to move safety full time. Funny part is Sam might not even. No, I'm not saying Sam would have been the answer here. I would have, but in hindsight, I think everybody would agree. You would have liked to have Sam in the rotation here. I think. I'm not saying he'd been the answer. He probably doesn't start at A&M. I don't know. I don't know A&M's roster like that. I obviously don't follow the Aggies. My point is, you would have wanted Sam McCall here. To be honest, we just need, at a minimum, stay healthy at the safety spot through the month of September. I'm not concerned about the back half of our schedule. Fair point to Panama. Who do you believe is the next player? Who do you believe is the next player to get their number retired? Anyone from the 90s or 2013 yet? I believe Winston, number 5 should probably be retired. I'm with you there. Here, but let me go back. Let me take a step back, Terrell. If y'all remember, I don't like the idea of retiring numbers. I'm okay with retiring jerseys, like they did with Peter Ward. He retired his jersey, but the number is still available. I think they should bring number 2 out of retirement. Not because I have something about Deion, though people would tell you I do, but I don't. Hell, Deion's on my Mount Rushmore. If you ain't seen the Mount Rushmore little short clip I did. I believe we should use certain numbers. You know, when Dalvin Cook does what he does wearing number 4, that should be that should be a running back number. And no one should ever wear that number. That should only be a running back number. And no one should ever wear number 4 unless you are that guy. No DB. Number 2 should strictly ever be a DB number. And you don't get to wear number 2 unless you prove you're that guy. Like I would have gave number 2 maybe. Like if we talk to recent Florida State DBs, LaMarcus Joyner, obviously Jalen Ramsey, those guys would have been in competition to wear number 2. That's what I think Florida State should do. Not so much retire numbers and jersey. Well, retire jerseys, sure. I don't think we should retire numbers. Instead, they should be goals to reach. The next quarterback that wears number 5 should be that guy. And that's how I have always viewed the number thing. Don't retire numbers. Retire the jersey, but make that number like Florida does it with the University of Florida, but they do it with number 1. Like you don't get number 1 at Florida if you're not number 1. And other schools do it with other numbers. So, in my opinion, we should start doing that. No knock on Toafili, man. I think Toafili's a good football player, but he shouldn't be wearing number 9. Toafili wore that as a freshman, if I'm not mistaken. Toafili's always been number 9. Not everybody should get to wear number 9. That should be reserved for certain people. So that's kind of how I view it. Right? We don't know. I'm not saying he would have been a solution. I'm saying he would have been in the rotation. Terrence gonna ask for the link, and then not show up. Let me see. This is why you don't let black folk be like co-hosts and stuff, because that can't be on time for nothing, man. Black people don't know how to act. Oh, there you go. He said he coming. Hurry up. See? Dustin Hill makes Greedy look like a kicker. Yeah. A safety. Right. Bingo. Tyler pretty much hits the nail on the head. Give me Sam McCall over nothing, which is basically what we have. Again, no knock on the Baker kid that we got out of JUCO, but come on, y'all. Like, give me Sam over nothing. You want at least guys in the rotation. True, in a normal case, Tyler, but clearly McCall was jaded and could have hurt the culture in the locker room because yeah, Jonathan, I don't think we're digging too. I don't think we're digging into. I'm not saying your points aren't valid. We're just talking about the player. We're not looking into locker room dynamics and could he have been the cancer. Those are all speculation things that really no one has the answer to. Sure, you could be right, but I could say, man, McCall would have been fine. We don't know. Obviously, he transferred for a reason. We're just simply talking about: would you rather had Sam McCall as a football player or nothing? I think the consensus is you at least want Sam, or hell, take Sam McCall's name off of it. You want that freshman safety from last year. You want him to still be on the roster is the point. Whether his name is Sam McCall, Bam McCall, whatever. Terrence wants some intro music. Terrence, what you want your intro music to be? I feel you. I understand that point of view. Makes sense. Put as a goal for the players to reach, push themselves to grow. Let's go, T. What up, bro?
What's good, everybody? I got an interesting little tidbit. So something really, whatever,
Hey,
bro. This guy. Anyway, about Ashland, that safety. It was something that sounded familiar about the school he went to. He actually went to the same school as my cousin. Remember my cousin I told you about? Went to Navy.
Is that the same one you told me that Willie was recruiting?
No. That's the DN. I had another cousin. He went to play. He's a DB. Went to Navy. Did a year at Lamar. And then he was out in Iowa with Buddy. And
what did he say about him?
He said he didn't say nothing bad necessarily, but he said the measurables are there. Well,
that's one thing we always know. Like he's what 6'2", 6. They say 6'3". I think he's probably closer to 6'2", obviously. He's long.
I don't think he started, dude.
I don't think he played.
Yeah, and he was behind my cousin, but he was behind my cousin on the depth chart. I'm
pretty positive he didn't play. That's why he has 4 years of eligibility. Absolutely.
But he was, and part of that was
he was behind my
cousin on the depth chart.
He only has practice film.
Yep.
No, you're not saying anything that I ain't already said. Like I said, I like his measurables, and I like the fact that he's got 4 years, which means you can groom
Yeah.
him and you can develop him. But if you're expecting Baker to come in and be a part of this rotation room and like be an answer,
Hmm.
again, that's my problem with the safety rotation. Name the first guy off the bench in the safety rotation. You can't.
One in
And
the
if you do,
corner.
you're
One in the
naming a
corner.
freshman. I think it's AZ. I think if it gets that serious, I think they bring AZ. They don't like what you're bringing into the room.
I'm not. I'm not. It's just I had this conversation over breakfast, bro. This just I felt like I need to share that. Like the measurables are there, and
Mhm.
that's the plus side to him.
That's it. But I
Um,
mean, I said that when we got him. He's a big, long, athletic, apparently athletic. They say he runs like a 4.4. I don't know if he's that fast.
he is.
Your cousin might know.
He is.
He's that fast. Okay. So he's big, long, as athletic, and he's fast. Awesome. No experience. Didn't play at his last stop.
That's
So
that's the weird part to me.
don't expect some like guy to come in here and give you 200 snaps next year. Like maybe, maybe not. Probably not.
If he
Right?
gives us 200 snaps, I'm a little bit worried. Like that's not something you really want to see just yet. But hey,
I feel you.
I, I don't know about it all being about injury that he didn't play last year.
That part I don't know.
I don't because
I
from
do
what
know he
he
didn't
was
play.
still behind people on the depth chart. That's known.
So where your cousin's at now?
He actually tore his ACL, man. So yeah. So he's rehabbing.
That
He's
sucks.
still there. Um, but yeah, he tore his ACL. He got 2 years left of eligibility though.
Okay. Okay.
So hopefully that works out for him. You probably meet him on Saturday though.
Oh, he'll be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be in town.
Bet. How that looking? How we looking for the weekend?
Oh, we good. What you mean? We good. We moving.
What's the menu looking like? Like
I got
what's Sunday
it's
night looking
kids.
like? Like
See, that's what
what we
I
got
need to
going?
know. When you get here, when you leaving?
I'm staying through Monday, so I'm coming up Saturday.
Okay.
Saturday we driving up, and then I'll be Saturday, Sunday.
We
We'll leave, we
brunch and
leave Monday.
Sunday. We gonna go out on the town, get brunch. We can move around on Sunday night too. I'm
I
all
mean that's
for
what
it.
you initially said,
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Sunday Fun Day, so
right? So that's what I'm looking forward to.
yeah. But that's just it makes me realize like, dang, bro, that's a big hole, man.
I mean I've been talking about
It's
safety for a while now.
I thought he was bringing something to the table where he could be relied on, like take some snaps away from somebody, but it sounds like he just needs to be developed completely. So that's on Certain.
Well, the thing is, he's a safety. I think Pat just does corners. I think Fuller does safeties. I'm almost positive that's.
Whose nephew? Jakeem, your nephew was at what school? Where Ashland?
I'm not sure, but that's probably since that's who we're talking about. I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. But yeah, I mean, I've always been on that since the day we got him. Like, this is a guy that I mean, it's good to have, but you essentially just added another freshman.
I hated the idea that that he was a take. It was either him or Key. Like like when people would say that, I was
Bro,
like, "What are you talking about?" Like,
bro, don't
dude,
believe that. Don't believe that,
like,
bro. We got people that like to, Mike Norvell can look. Mike Norvell can never miss. So when we miss a guy, oh, he wasn't take. That was a legit. People were legit saying that when we missed out on Key that he wasn't a take.
so
Bro,
Jakeem,
you would take Key
yeah,
10 out of 10 times because he's a experienced football player and you don't have that in the safety room right now.
not behind Denton. What's we call it?
That's what I'm saying.
Mr. Foreman, if your nephew is saying that oh boy is fired, he's that good. I like to know what did he watch practice? Is that what he's saying it off of what he watched on practice? I'm not denying that this kid can probably be good, but what did he see? What did he watch? Where was he? Was he in the weight room with him? Like, I'm just talking about, you know, from because I didn't even realize. I didn't realize like it took me like, wait, I haven't seen this. I watched this kid's team, and I never seen him play. I've watched the film of my cousin playing on this team and didn't recognize this kid.
Yeah, because I'm pretty
So
positive he didn't play.
like, so I'm just trying to figure out where you get that from. Was he?
I think he was a mid. I don't like to call him a whiff, but I think when you got a Tallahassee native
Yeah.
and all this stuff, I think that's a miss. There is some speculation that Key knew he was going to Bama the whole time, and Bama's actually the team that got him to hit the portal, which makes sense. He went to UAB. I mean, they're in Alabama. Like, what isn't UAB in Birmingham?
Yeah.
I think UAB's in Birmingham. Bama's in
University of
Tuscaloosa.
Alabama, Birmingham.
Yeah. So there is probably some legit rumor there that Bama's the team that got him in the portal to begin with.
Wouldn't be surprised.
And that he gave Florida State that visit as they are the Tallahassee team. Let me go see or whatever.
Let me see if I want to go home.
But he was definitely in more position of need for us than them.
Yeah. Is he starting at Bama?
I don't know.
That's the other thing. I really, some of these kids that hit the portal and they go to certain schools, like you go to the bigger schools with no guarantee that you're going to actually be playing. Like I wonder about that sometimes. Like, or like, are you going to start? Like, I don't know that Key is going to start there.
Oh, I agree. I think I can't criticize a kid who takes a bet on himself and goes to Bama. Like, it's Bama.
Yeah.
And Key got the measure. The same thing we talk about Baker. Key got those like same type of measurables, 6'2", 200 some pounds, or whatever. But what I do know is if he would have came to Florida State, no knock on who we have, he would have competed. Because and we talked about this when we watched Shaheem Brown. You was over the house. Like, there's a lot of talk of whether Shaheem Brown, in my opinion, can be a full-time starter. Like, I think he was good as a rotational player, but we're gonna learn if he's a full-time guy.
And I didn't really think he was.
And you didn't think that, right?
Yeah, I mean, and then I didn't think, and then he went and made a play right after.
Then he made some plays in that second half, but in that first half,
he was a liability.
Right. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, Key would have competed, I think. If nothing else, he pushes Shaheem Brown, or he pushes Akeem Dent. And who's to say he couldn't have won, the job? So
I think it sucks that we lost, and I know that this was said earlier. Travis J. I think that's one of the bigger losses in the portal.
You think so? I don't. Only because he's been here 4 years and only played 2 of them.
I'd have liked to have had him.
Because the other 2 he's been academically ineligible to play. So if you can't even get your grades right, like I can't. Like, yes, all the potential in the world, bro. I'm with you. Travis J had all the potential in the world, but at what point can you get on the field? Go get a fresh start. Like, that's just me though.
Yeah, Key probably starts. In my opinion, though, Key probably starts over Shaheem.
FSU hasn't landed a Tallahassee natives. We don't recruit Tallahassee very well anymore, which is insane.
I don't understand that. Like, how is that possible? Like, imagine Miami not landing a top any Miami recruits at all.
Right.
Like, what?
I'm just reading some of these. If Leicester, I agree. I've said that all before. Leicester is FSU's to lose. If you lose Leicester, you royally fucked up somewhere.
Something happened.
Something bad happened.
Somebody dropped a very, very big bag, which you can never discount in this day and age. The promise of the bag.
Yeah, I don't. It's not that I disagree with you, Jakeem. I don't think you can say like he's a contributor right away. He definitely probably has all the tools, right? But those tools have to be honed and put to proper use. If he couldn't play, you know, the JUCO, he's probably not going to come in here and play right away.
Straight up.
It's okay. It's okay to need some time. Nothing wrong with needing maybe a season or two to get your feet up under you.
But yeah, he wasn't gonna start.
Yeah, Terry and Arnold is another one over there, Tallahassee native that plays at Bama. Yep.
I mean, Bama is really close. I don't know if y'all realize that. Bama is very close.
It really is.
Tuscaloosa ain't too far from Tallahassee. So
who would you rather start at QB for LSU? I prefer Daniels, but I think it'll be. There's no way Daniels isn't the starter game one. No way. No way Daniels not the starter.
Daniels is the starter for that team.
There's no way he's not the starter.
Just straight up. There's no way Newsomeyer is like there's no like
no way.
And Daniels is their best hope.
I was just about to say, and if you're telling me Verse and Pat come off the edge, Daniels is your best hope. Put
Newsomeyer back there and let him stand there.
I was just about to say that. Put Newsomeyer back there if you want to.
I love it.
Put him back there if you want to.
I love it.
Terrell says over or under FSU's offense will be in the top 5 or top 10 or top 12. They were top 10 last year, if I'm not mistaken. We were a top 10 offense last year, weren't we?
I believe so.
So there's no way they're not in the top 10. You know what? And the people haven't heard your take on Coleman, bro. What you think?
I'm excited, man. My thing with Coleman, like, and you planted that seed, and I don't even know if it was you said it on here or you in our conversations, but like it gives us that extra, like Johnny Wilson can have an off day. Winston Wright don't have to pick. There's no way you're gonna tell me that they're for the lock up Johnny, Winston, and Keon, and then stop the run.
And then Jaheim Bell.
And like it's just too much. We're going to move the ball. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And as long as Jordan Travis is behind center, we're gonna move the ball. And I think it also gives some leeway that if Jordan misses a half or like he did against what was that Louisville. You know, we was very worried with we was worried when I think everybody was worried with hey man.
Hey. He ain't lying though.
Hey. Oh man. We was worried when Tate stepped in for him, man. We was worried for when Tate stepped in. And I think who was it? Pookie ended up saving the day for us, really, I think. Wasn't that
in the Who
was that?
Game?
Who was that?
No, Johnny went for 150.
Yeah, but who I feel like it was somebody
Johnny
else.
Was killing Jarvis Brownlee that game.
It was somebody else who
Oh no, I was definitely waving the white flag, bro. I thought the season, the way Jordan went down and was hitting the ground, I thought we were done.
In our chat, I was like, that's it.
I thought Jordan's knee was done. The way he was reacting to the injury, I thought we were done. I thought the season was done. Not gonna lie, I'm not even going back off that. Yeah, I was waving the white flag. I thought it was over.
In our chat, I said that was it. That's done. We good.
I was like, oh, it was a good run, guys. That was it. That was it. I was convinced that was it.
Oh man.
So yeah, I'm glad, I don't think you thought we was getting Coleman. But
we might need to have a conversation offline. I don't want to put these kids' names out there just because. But if you want to talk about his outline, we can talk about it. Like, does your nephew? Because I want to know if your nephew plays and like that kind of thing. But okay. Um. Yeah, man. I'm really excited about Keon, bro. Like, I don't think, and I know you go up to Ohio State, and obviously their wide receiver room is crazy. Bama's always going to have a very good wide receiver room. I don't really know who the guy is out there right now. Who's the guy in Bama right now?
It's looking like it's going to be that transfer from Notre Dame. Basically, I don't think Bama
Okay,
has a
so yeah,
quarterback.
and then you probably look LSU always puts out a pretty good wide receiver room too.
Hey, that's the one thing I know is LSU's going to have some receivers.
Yeah, and I think you can put our room up there with any of those. Our top three, I'm putting that up there against anybody. I'm put only people I can really see really up there with is Ohio State. Anybody got another wide receiver room they want to put up there against that?
That's kind of what I said. I'm kind of with you. Like anybody but Ohio State, I might take ours.
I mean,
But Ohio State has just recruited at a clip that I can't.
they selling
They got
NFL
5-star on top
dreams
of
out there,
5-star.
boy.
Yeah, and it's the crazy thing. Every draft they get 3 receivers in the first round. It feel like so.
Yeah,
They're not only are they recruiting every good receiver out there, they're getting them to the league in the first round. At that,
they getting them paid.
they're getting paid. So any team but Ohio State, though, I'll take Florida State's. I'll take our receiving group over any team but them.
So is Johnny number one still? He's still number one receiver, right?
We're gonna find out in the fall. I told y'all when we were. I told people when we was recruiting him, I said, "There's no guarantee that Keon Coleman ain't coming here to be the number one guy." And I could argue that Keon Coleman's a better all-around receiver than Johnny Wilson.
Clemson?
Clemson, what?
What about Clemson?
Hell no. I hope he ain't talking about receiving rooms.
Stop. No. Who are you taking over Johnny on Clemson? Who are you taking over Johnny or Keon? Michigan, I don't really know them well enough in the wide receiver room to say anything, but that tells you something.
I don't think Michigan got it like that. Definitely not Clemson. I mean,
I know Clemson's. I know Clemson's roster.
Yeah, definitely not Clemson.
I'm not seeing that.
That's the one thing they lack offensively, in my opinion. Well, they have a question at quarterback. I know me and you talked about Clemson.
That boy he's not garbage. He's not garbage.
Don't say he garbage, but we'll see.
Like I said, when I saw him live.
Outside of Shipley, Clemson don't got no playmakers on that offense.
And I'm not too worried about Shipley.
I think Shipley's a dog.
He's solid. But, I mean, I think he not for to beat us. He not for to Dalvin us.
He been beating us. Shit.
We beat us last year. I feel like we beat us last year, but that's a whole nother story. Like, I think play calling and like that, like you said earlier, predictability beat us. And I said that. Like those those losses.
I think Texas has the second best roster in the country, man. Top to bottom. I really do.
Behind.
I think Georgia still has the best roster.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah. I think Texas has definitely one of the top 3 total rosters in the country.
They lost 2 running backs though, didn't they?
Yeah, they got.
But they still got somebody.
They got Cedric Baxter now. They got Cedric Baxter.
He was supposed to be a no.
Right. So, yeah.
I'm definitely not for to knock him. And dude's talented. Baxter can definitely make his way out there.
Wait, from 2000s to now, who is your top 10 QB list? What are we talking?
And
We're talking.
I seen this list.
We're talking pros or they talking college?
College. I think he's talking about. There's a list that had Jameis way down the list.
Oh yeah, I did see that list. No, that list didn't even have Jameis on it. Jameis didn't make the top 10 in that list.
I
We're just
think
talking about
it
that
was
list.
a top 20. He was like 16 or something.
Top 10 quarterbacks off the top of my head. 1, Cam.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might have to write some stuff down. Let me see.
I mean,
Top
not
10.
in order. I could give you 10.
Okay, yeah, not in order. But Cam Newton, Jameis,
Lamar's in there.
yeah, Lamar
Yeah.
Jackson,
Johnny Manziel, unfortunately.
Tim Tebow. I'm not going to Johnny right now. Hold on. But Cam, Jameis, Lamar, Tebow. I'm gonna say RG3.
Yeah.
I thought what he did at Baylor was absolutely Vince Young's probably in there too. Vince. So where are we at right now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 4 more.
Burrow.
Joe. Gotta put Joe in there.
I don't want to put Stetson Bennett in there at all.
No, Stetson's not going in there.
Yeah, I'm about to say
I would put Baker Mayfield in there over Stetson. And I'm not even thinking about putting Baker in there.
And you talking about not putting Johnny in, it seems like.
Bro, I think Johnny was just throw that thing up to Mike Evans and call it a day. Like
That's so you. I'm sorry.
No, you good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3 more. Bradford. Okay. Sam Bradford. I'm legit thinking Luck. Mariota might have a case.
I want I got Mariota over Luck.
Mariota. I don't know if Mariota's over Luck. Obviously, as a pro prospect, no. But I'm talking
about
Luck's at Stanford though, and look what he was doing at.
How many
Stanford,
times we gonna get people that play at Stanford that excuse, bro?
It's Stanford,
it was at
bro.
Stanford. Stanford competes for Pac-10 championships.
When Luck was there,
they've done it other years too.
Not since, man. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I feel like
I don't know about Sam.
I feel like we forgetting somebody. Deshaun.
I'm sitting here debating: is it Trevor or Deshaun?
I got Deshaun over Trevor.
I ain't putting both.
I'll take Deshaun over Trevor.
Okay, I'll put Watson on there. That's 8.
And you don't want to put Manziel on there? I mean, dude.
I might end up putting Johnny on there, but I really don't. Again, I think Johnny
since 2000.
I think Johnny just threw that thing up to Mike Evans, bro.
Oh, if we're going from
it's since 2000s,
we have to consider Ken Dorsey then.
Top 10? Nah, I can't do Ken Dorsey, bro. I need to get a list of quarterbacks. I know I'm forgetting. Matt Leinert's up there. I forgot about Matt Leinart.
You got Matt Leinart above Ken Dorsey?
Probably. Russell Wilson's interesting.
Somebody on that list, by the way, Graham Harrell is on that list. Colt McCoy is on that list.
Okay, yeah, keep naming some guys. We already got Tebow. So here's what we got.
What was this list?
We got Cam Newton, Jameis, Lamar, Tim, RG3, Vince, Joe, and Joe Burrow, by the way, and Deshaun Watson. So somebody said Matt Ryan.
No, I ain't got Matt Ryan on there. Why?
Definitely got Tebow.
Yeah, we already said Tebow.
Definitely already got RG3. Somebody said Dorsey, Mariota. I might throw Mariota on here.
All right, so Luck. I mean, that's about it. We closed it out with Luck and I think you gotta have Mariota on there.
Yeah, Mariota. I'm with you. So now the question is, do you give it to a guy like Baker Mayfield or Johnny Manziel? And even though Andrew Luck didn't win a Heisman, does he make it over those guys?
Talk
Hell,
about what they did in college.
fuck it, let's throw Jordan Travis on there. There you go.
Bomb. I'm with it. Let's go.
Jordan Travis. That's our top 10. Cam Newton, Jameis Winston, Lamar Jackson, Tim Tebow, Robert Griffin III, Vince Young, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson, Marcus Mariota, and Jordan Travis. Conversation over.
So, debated with your mammy.
Yep.
Oh man.
Vince Young is number one for what he did to USC. To me, Cam Newton is number one, but
Yeah, what Cam did was insane. Like that team was garbage. Well, not garbage,
I
but
wouldn't call it garbage, but it really wasn't. It wasn't no national championship caliber team at all.
I think we got more talent on the Florida State roster than that was on that roster.
Probably.
Did he have Sammy Coates?
I think he had a freshman Sammy Coates.
We got
the second best player on that team. I think was Nick Fairley.
Yeah, Fairley.
That's it.
Fairley was dominant though.
He was good. He was pretty good, especially at college.
Yeah, he was dominant on the college level. Lamar also didn't win a national championship though,
and he didn't do it through the SEC. Like, don't forget, Bama's in its heyday at this point when Cam's running through the
Cam
SEC.
was down by like 17 to Bama.
Right. I hear you,
Came back and beat him.
I hear you, Marcus. But if I'm not mistaken, Lamar was never able to get over the Clemson hump. I don't think Lamar ever beat Clemson. Cam beat Bama. Cam went through the SEC and won a natty, bro.
Top 10. Well, you asking a lot, boy.
Dang, Terrell, you killing us, bro.
That's a lot.
Killing us.
I think running backs are a lot easier than wide receivers, bro.
How many points do we average this year? Definitely 40 plus.
Gotta be 40 plus.
Definitely 40 plus.
I think we need to average 40 plus in order to win 11 games.
Yeah, definitely 40 plus.
If we're under 40, we're regressing and there's some problems.
Yeah, if we're under 40, then there's some problems for sure.
I also, and I'm going to stand by what I said last year, we need to make sure that we are blowing the people out that we need to and putting our foot on the neck, not letting up on the gas in the third quarter and benching everybody all the time. Go ahead, play the starters through the third, and do something. Prove a point.
Not do something. We still say that around here?
Hey, relax. Prove a point. Make a point. Make an example out of these guys, bro.
Let me go back to this one. Let's start with running back. Why not?
Dalvin.
Dalvin,
and Dalvin.
I'm gonna tell you off the bat, Dalvin Cook. I'm gonna throw Dalvin in. Gotta throw Christian McCaffrey in there.
Derrick Henry. Zeke.
This is since 2000. Yeah, I'm throwing Zeke.
Wait, so
I'm throwing Zeke in there. I agree with that.
McGahee.
So we got 4 so far. Yeah, Willis McGahee. Absolutely. That's 5. 5 more.
Saquon? That's
Adrian Peterson. What the hell? Adrian Peterson. Reggie Bush.
Oh God. Hey, wait, hold on, bro. We moving too fast.
Well, we're gonna end up missing some pretty good guys.
Yeah.
We might have to take some guys off.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Derrick Henry might not be making his list.
He might not be because you got Ricky
Ricky
Williams.
Williams, yeah. Ricky's a definite.
Who, if you ask me, I would take him over Derrick Henry.
Ricky?
Yeah.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ricky's a definite for me.
So I'm gonna put Ricky on there, but I'm gonna keep Derrick Henry for now because we don't.
I feel
have
like
to take
Leonard
him off yet.
Fournette. I want to put
I thought
Fournette.
about Fournette. And he definitely was a talent. We'll throw Fournette.
Was LT in the 2000s? Yeah.
No, I think
I thought he was drafted like 98, 99.
yeah,
He was
I
in
think he
the
came out. He came out when Vic came out. That's
90. Oh, no, he is. He's 2002. 2001, 2002. So that's the other part. When we
No.
going into the 2000s, it makes it kind of iffy.
Damian Tomlinson. Is he a 2000? I don't think Damian is 2000. No. Damian Tomlinson.
He was 2001, so he was a 2000. No, I'm not going to include him in that. He's before.
Yeah, because the majority of his college career is in the 90s, so we're not going to include the Damian Tomlinson. Todd Gurley, I see that.
I don't want to put him on there. He got injured too much.
Clinton Portis. He already got McGahee, so I'm gonna stick with that.
Chubb, same thing for Chubb. Feel like he was
definitely not D'Anthony Thomas. What about Noel Devine?
Nah,
no,
not enough significant.
Or did we say Dalvin, Henry, Ingram, Zeke, Peterson, Bush, Fournette, McCaffrey, Duke Johnson?
What Bush? What Bush we talking about?
When you started
Reggie, okay.
Bush. When you start talking about Duke Johnson,
Stop.
Top 10 running back since 2000.
I thought about Cedric Benson.
I don't. What about them Wisconsin running backs? They had some damn good ones.
What was that boy?
Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. They had who they had before him?
Yeah, they had some. They had some boys I would take in Wisconsin over Duke.
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon
was a beast out there.
That's what I'm talking about.
What about Penn State running backs?
Ron Dane can kiss my ass. I'm not taking.
Hey,
Darren McFadden. Darren McFadden's going on the list.
Yep.
I forgot all about Darren McFadden. Thank you, Tim.
That's a good one.
Yes, Darren McFadden.
That boy was nasty. He was a bigger Reggie Bush to me.
A one-man wrecking crew, bro. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Zeke, McGahee, Peterson, Bush, Ricky Williams, Fournette, and Darren McFadden. Now you can debate that with your man.
I mean, some people will.
Talk about CJ Spiller. CJ Spiller was a beast.
Yeah. Oh.
CJ Spiller was nasty.
Say that list one more time. I don't know, man.
Dalvin Cook, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Zeke, McGahee, Adrian Peterson, Reggie Bush, Ricky Williams, Fournette, and Darren McFadden. No Travis Etienne. Sorry.
Fuck out of here.
Clemson fans actually think Etienne's better than Dalvin Cook. Absolutely insane. Trent Richardson.
In college.
In college, he was a beast, but I mean, I know we're talking about college, but if I'm being honest, I'm not taking Trent Richardson over any of those running backs I just named. Not one. So, yeah, none of these other guys y'all are answering go. Y'all ain't named one guy.
Michael James was cool.
None of those guys y'all are named.
Anthony Thomas, was he really even a running back? Like, I feel like he was
a gadget player because he had speed, but he wasn't a real running back.
Yeah, he went third and was
I
out
think
3 years.
Marshawn Lynch was a beast, but again,
I'm taking. I agree with taking Spiller over Ingram, bro. I like Spiller.
Ingram's not on my list.
I'll take him over Fournette.
You'll take CJ Spiller over Leonard Fournette?
CJ Spiller was nasty.
I don't know about that.
I was a big fan of his. I gotta admit, I was.
I know Trent went third in the draft. I know what he went. I'm still not taking him over any of those guys I just named.
Larry Johnson. I just looked at Larry Johnson, man, when he was at Penn State. that name came across.
Lawrence Phillips.
That was a 90s though.
Jamal Charles. I hear you. I like Jamal Charles, but
what was they really doing?
like I said, conversation over. Y'all ain't convincing me. None of
Debate
these
your
names.
man.
Yep, none of these names moving me. Okay, let's do wide receivers real quick then.
Really?
It was let's see, Crabtree.
Oh yeah. Let's Chase.
Fitzgerald. Let's do Larry. Let's do Fitzgerald.
Chase. Chase got to be on there for what he did at Clemson.
Absolutely, Jamar Chase. I'm definitely putting Crabtree on there.
Julio didn't do enough in college for me.
Julio was pretty.
He was solid, but
good
he
though.
didn't do enough.
Talk about Andre Johnson.
He counts. I got Calvin. Calvin in college wasn't.
Calvin Johnson. I don't know.
Do you remember that offense?
No, I really don't. To be honest with you,
it was just every now and then they just throw him a bomb.
Dez Bryant.
Dez, yes.
Dez, yep.
But yeah, I can't put Calvin on that list.
I think I'm gonna throw Andre on there, at least for now.
Yeah.
Unless somebody knocks me off that, I'm throwing Andre Johnson on there.
I'm trying to think.
Rashard Green?
Nah, I can't.
You don't think so? I'm gonna throw Rashard Green to the side.
We could go get that Clemson guy.
Percy Harvin?
Percy Harvin, yes.
Gotta go throw Percy Harvin on there. I agree.
Megatron is not gonna make this. I'm sorry.
Tavon.
Megatron not making this list.
I don't. From college standpoint, I agree. Megatron's probably not.
He didn't get enough targets to matter, bro.
Let me look at it real quick. Let me see what was Calvin Johnson's college stats looking like. I'll be honest with you, but off the top of my head, I don't think he makes.
Let's see. This will help me out too. Oh, that's crazy. This should give me some guys to throw on that list.
So he actually had, I mean, freshman year he had 800 yards, 7 touchdowns. Sophomore year he had 888 yards, 6 touchdowns. Junior year he went for 1,215.
Mark Cooper?
Peter Ward doesn't count, Mr. H.
He does not qualify. What about Amari Cooper?
Amari Cooper? I'll write him down. Oh, Randy Moss doesn't count either, does he? When was Randy Moss drafted?
He don't count.
Okay.
It's interesting, man.
Braylon Edwards, I remember Braylon Edwards. Justin Blackman, yeah, no, Blackman's probably got to go on there for real though.
What about Stedman Bailey?
His college numbers were crazy. I remember Braylon Edwards, but I'll pass.
Ryan Broyles. Oh, I missed on that one. Yeah. I mean,
Greg Jennings.
This is a lot tougher than I thought it would be.
The receivers are a little tougher than.
Because I don't want to put Justin Jefferson on that list because I feel like it was just like really a year that Justin Jefferson went off. You know,
Mike Williams was pretty dominant. AJ Green. I think AJ Green definitely had the better college career than Julio, probably. I'll throw AJ on there. I agree with AJ. I'm thinking
Devontae Smith.
Devontae, got to give it to hell yeah. What the heck? Boy won the Heisman.
So we
One,
got
two,
who we
three,
got?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got 9 so far. So we got Fitz, Jamar Chase, Crabtree, Dez, Andre Johnson, Percy, Blackman, uh, AJ, but he can be debatable, and then Devontae Smith.
Why not Hopkins?
Newt, Newt Hopkins. The crazy thing is, I actually think Sammy was better in
Sammy.
college than Hopkins was. Like, if you just off of impact, I feel like Sammy.
Are you?
Yeah, Sammy. I think if you Sammy Watkins or Tavon Austin is legit. Um, I saw another name, man. Mr. H. Warwick doesn't count because we're not talking 90s, bro. We're talking 2000s. Mike Williams is a legit
You
name
got
too.
Shad on there?
Rashard, no, I didn't put Rashard on there.
Are we not going with Cooper Amari?
Here, what we'll do. We'll go Sammy Watkins, Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper. I said Amari Cooper. We got Fitz on there already, y'all. We got Percy on there already. Did Calvin Johnson win? Calvin Johnson won a Biletnikoff?
Really? I mean, if that's the resume,
then I'm putting Calvin Johnson on there. Then
got to.
I didn't know he won the Biletnikoff.
I didn't either. I thought he was just, like just a deep ball guy for them.
So the wide receiver was kind of hard, and we ended up with Larry Fitzgerald, Jamar Chase, Michael Crabtree, Dez Bryant, Andre Johnson, Percy Harvin, Justin Blackman, AJ Green, Devontae Smith, Calvin Johnson. If you wanted to put Tavon Austin on there, you got to tell me who I'm taking off.
Don't worry.
I don't think I'm taking anybody off for Tavon.
Nah, I don't think that's what he's saying. Dez was eating, man.
For who? Tavon Austin?
Dez was eating, man.
Dez was killing it at Oklahoma State. Yeah, I can't.
It ain't happening.
Odell? Nah.
Nope.
Odell wasn't rocking like that in college like that.
Do you know the all-time leader in receiving yards is Corey Davis? Only problem is he did it at Western Michigan.
You know what? You can take Dez Bryant off.
For who?
I don't know, but if you actually look at his, I don't know what happened in 2009. Did he get hurt in 2009?
Maybe I don't know.
Because Dez Bryant, really, 2008 is really the only year where he had 1,400 yards and 19 touchdowns.
So we're going to give it to...
But in 2007, he only had 600 yards. And in 2009, he only had 300 yards.
I think I mentioned Braylon Edwards.
Chase got to go. I ain't taking Chase off. I might take, let me look up Tavon Austin real quick. You might have a case, Tim.
I feel like Tavon did a lot of
flashy stuff, but I'm finna look up Tavon's number.
I'm all for having Braylon on there.
Not me. Okay, yeah, I'll go Tavon Austin over Dez Bryant. We'll take Dez Bryant off and we'll go Tavon Austin. Because outside of 1 year, Dez don't have the numbers to back it up.
Oh boy, man. What did Charles Rogers do? Hey, if it's all stats, if it's only stats.
Charles Rogers went to Michigan State, right?
Yeah. If it
But it's not just about the stats.
Corey Davis got everybody beat with stats.
Right, it's not just about the stats. I mean, you really gonna tell me you taking Charles Rogers over Larry Fitzgerald or any of these guys? He damn sure didn't have better stats than Michael Crabtree. I
Crabtree.
mean, you taking Charles Rogers over R.J. Johnson or Percy
And I
Harvin
think
or
you gotta
Justin
add it
Blackman
like
or A.J. Green? Like who? You said Charles Rogers better than all these guys we named. Who's he better than? He ain't better than the Heisman winner Devontae Smith. He ain't better than Megatron. He ain't better than A.J. Green, Percy Harvin, Michael Crabtree, Larry Fitzgerald. Like, Charles
he ain't
Rogers
better
not
than
in there.
Rashad Green either.
Charles Rogers not in there. And I don't think I hear y'all with Braylon Edwards, but I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. I just was never a Braylon Edwards guy. So to me,
I want Amari Cooper and Chase.
Braylon Edwards don't Braylon Edwards don't move the needle for me, y'all. I'm sorry. Amari Cooper,
Braylon
guys
moves it
like
for
Amari
me.
Cooper and Sammy Watkins. We can make a case on some of these guys.
I like Amari Cooper.
No, I'm not saying. Are you saying that because those guys are better in the NFL? I'm saying that because as football players, I don't care about the NFL because Michael Crabtree wasn't that great in the NFL. I'm telling you, I would take none of those players. Justin Blackman wasn't that great in the NFL. I would take none of those players. I mean, I would take all of those players over Charles Rogers. Forget the NFL.
You heard what he said.
I'm just talking from a talent standpoint. Those guys ain't as good as the guy, in my opinion. None of those. That guy's not better than any of those guys. Just me though.
It ain't them. They not him.
I agree with Antoine. Like Braylon Edwards just wasn't it for me.
I feel like I don't know. I
Braylon Edwards
always
just
liked
wasn't.
him.
I'm with you on Amari Cooper. I just who we taking off? Is it Jamar Chase? And to be crazy, there's probably a guy that you can name that's still playing that you could throw on this list, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr.
I wanted to.
That's Marvin Harrison Jr. When it's all said
I
and done.
wanted to.
So
that's a Heisman candidate right there. You want to see another receiver? That got a chance at winning the Heisman is him.
Okay, let's look at. Let me look up Jamar Chase.
Hey, run that list one more time, though.
I'm gonna run it, but I want to look up Jamar
Treadwell
Chase.
Was good. I liked him.
Daquan Treadwell, he was solid.
He was just slow as molasses.
Like Steven said, he was solid. He wasn't top 10 though.
He reminded me of Braylon Edwards, a physical receiver. But that's the other part. Weren't Braylon and Laquan like significantly older?
I don't remember.
I feel like those guys. Braylon is definitely. I feel like was older.
So Jamar Chase, to Tim's point, Jamar Chase had that 1 year of 1,700 yards and 20 touchdowns. But Amari Cooper probably has a whole body of work. So the question is, are we taking one dominant year or a body of work? I will take off Jamar Chase and throw Amari Cooper on there. I'm with you.
It was only 1 year?
Yeah, Jamar Chase had 1 year, his sophomore year. That national championship year where he went for 1780 and 20 touchdowns.
He had 5 of them touchdowns against Clemson, so those don't count. And A.J. Terrell's a top corner in the NFL right now, bro. Like
bro, we not tripping. Like not every Biletnikoff winner gonna win no award, bro. I feel you. I know you like Charles Rogers. He just don't. He don't move. He don't move needle for me. But I understand. He's got all the accolades.
So that's what I was about to say. Fitzgerald only had 1 year, but I don't know.
He was a Heisman finalist in that 1 year, though. So,
and there was some guys up there on that list.
Bro.
Oh, that was Jefferson with the 5 TDs. Oh no, I thought it was Chase that Sunday. J. Terrell like that.
I'm trying to look. I want to. I mean, you're so adamant about Charles Rogers, so I want to look up his stats because I don't know his stats off the top of my head. I understand he was a good college player, right?
Overrated. Well, and then we gotta check Andre
So
Johnson
Charles
resume
Rogers
too.
had 2 years, 1,400 and 1,300 yards, 14, 13 TDs. So it's not like shout out to Charles Rogers, but
Yeah. All right.
I'm not saying we're taking them
How
off
much
for
did that
having one
contribute to
dominant.
them winning?
I'm not saying we're taking anybody off over one dominant year. What I'm saying is, if a guy has a body of work, maybe he gets a nod over one dominant year. That's all
It's
I'm
a
saying.
fluid.
Let's move on because this wide receiver room can go back and forth.
I feel like that was a tougher one then.
The wide receivers were
For a
definitely
different
tough.
reason though. Like
Definitely tough. Because you guys a lot of guys.
I,
So
he said defensive players, man, but I can't do
what about Andrew Parchment?
that.
Put Naquan Murray on there. Why the hell not?
Let's go.
Defensive player. Let's do. Let's. I want to pick. You down, Terrence, or what?
Fuck it, why not?
I want to do DNs. I think that's an interesting one
DNs.
because I think
I
Florida State
feel like DNs is
could
a
have a
lot
couple
of 1 year
players.
dominant guys though, bro. Like that's a position where it's like 1 year of dominance type thing.
Well, name you guys. Because Clowney.
Yeah,
Off rip,
Clowney's. Yeah, Miles Garrett.
right? Miles Garrett.
Curse was before, bro. I think.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Curse was not. Curse is 2000s. Is no? I think Curse is 90s. Let me look it up. But I
Mario
think Curse is
Williams,
90s.
yeah.
See, so for me, I can't. Mario Williams might have been the number 1 overall pick, but
He
I
didn't
want you
have
to
no
look at his
numbers.
college
You're
stats.
right. He didn't have no
I want you to
numbers.
look at his college stats, and then you come
I
back and tell
remember
me it was
that.
Mario Williams.
He didn't have no numbers.
Like, give me Bjorn Warner over Mario Williams if
I
we're
was
talking
gonna
college.
say that.
If we're talking college, give me Bjorn Warner over Mario
Well,
Williams.
we only doing DNs right now.
We're doing
Correct.
DNs, Tim.
Now
Daquan Bowers.
you can run off a couple Clemson DNs.
Yeah, Clemson has some guys. Khalil Mack. Mack's going on there. Khalil
Yeah,
Mack's going on there.
yeah. It's just the other part is, man, for me, like I factor in the school that they did.
I'm putting Bjorn Warner on there, bro. I don't care. And no Bjorn Warner. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Guys like Brandon Jennings, who had like 12, 13 sacks 1 year. Julius Peppers, that's 90s, bro, ain't it? When did Julius Peppers? I'm pretty sure Julius Peppers is 90s.
So we all right. So here's the part with all of this. When we're talking about that, we're gonna factor in sack numbers as well. Like a guy like Will and are we talking DNs or edges? Because then you gotta talk about Will Anderson. You gotta talk about let's see.
To me, DNs, edges, all earn the same.
And then I feel like it has to mean something and contribute towards winning, bro.
Okay.
That matters to me.
That's what everybody we named so far.
So we got Will Anderson on that list then.
Okay, we'll go. So, I'm telling you, man, we can name a bunch of Florida State players because your boy, to 2016 team, man, DeMarcus Walker.
Yeah, I thought about him.
D Walk, man, had 16 sacks
That year?
that year, yeah.
Damn.
But so far, I got Clowney, Garrett, Mack. I'm putting Bjorn Warner in there. I don't care what nobody say. And Will Anderson.
Vaughn?
Suggs. When did Suggs?
Von Miller.
When did Suggs come out? Ain't Suggs 2000s?
Yeah, he is.
Suggs got to be on there. I think he had like 19 sacks at Arizona State or something like that. So Suggs got to
What
be
about
on
the
there.
Bosa boys?
Yeah, Terrell Suggs got to be on there.
Because here's the other part. I'm gonna put this out there. We talking about.
I'm about to throw D Walk on here if y'all don't give me some more names. Top 16 sacks. D Walk dominated Ole Miss. I mean, I'm about to throw him on there.
Well, Bjorn only had 23 total sacks, right? You know that's the same as Brian Burns.
For real, I didn't know that. When did Julius Peppers get drafted?
And that's the same as Brandon Jenkins too.
I told y'all Brandon Jenkins,
Like
man.
they're all
Brandon
gonna have a
Jenkins.
sack of each other.
Yeah, Brandon Jenkins up in that. I said that. Florida State's got some guys. J.J. Watt. That's a good one.
Well, what was he?
I was about to say, but do we consider him an edge?
If we're gonna bring him in, and we gotta start talking about Aaron Donald and
right
and Ndamukong.
We'll do D tackles later because that's a great one too.
Oh, that's so.
We'll leave off JJ.
If we're gonna make this list, I feel like the all-time leaders in sacks.
Bro, when did Julius? Let me see when Julius Peppers got drafted because
like Jalen Ferguson is the all-time leader in sacks with 45.
Yeah, I don't care about none of that.
You don't care about none of that. Don't move the needle for you.
None of that. See, Julius Peppers gets drafted in 2002.
Nah, I'm not.
Which means, majority of his career happens in the night. Like
what happened 2000, 2001?
I mean, I guess technically you could do Julius Peppers.
I can tell you he's not on this list for sacks. He's somewhere down this list, somewhere way down it. This is an interesting list, bro.
You know, if you look at Julius Peppers, you know they bring up his basketball stats before they bring up his football stats.
Better basketball player in college than he was.
And he only averaged 5 points in basketball.
I think he was pretty good as far as a power forward, rebounding defensively. So we got Vaughn on that list, right? Von Miller.
No. Right now we got Terrell Suggs, Will Anderson, Bjorn Warner, who y'all ain't talking me out of, Khalil Mack, Myles Garrett, and Jadeveon Clowney.
So if you got Bjorn on there, why isn't a guy like Brandon Jenkins on there?
You want me to put a bunch of Florida State players on here? I will. I'll put Jenkins on here. I'll put D Walk on here. I'll put Burns on here. We can close the argument.
David
as far as I'm
Pollock.
concerned.
And I hated David Pollock, bro. I freaking hated him.
I'll put Pollock on.
Yeah, he belongs on there. I hated him, though. I freaking hated him. Tamba Ali.
I remember that name.
I remember him, but I'm not putting him on this list.
Me neither. Terrell Suggs on the list already, bro.
He said if we put Bjorn on this list, Mario Williams got to go on the list. What did Mario Williams do?
I ain't putting Mario Williams on the list.
What did he do?
What about Jermaine?
Jermaine?
What about Jermaine?
Cold World?
Cold World.
Nah. Appreciate what he did for us.
Is Jermaine better than Bjorn?
Well, you put it that way.
Y'all ain't talking me out of German chocolate, bro. I don't care what you
German chocolate.
Chris Long, that's a good one.
Hey, remember what I used to call him? Bjorn Warner, the Sackmaster. Sackmaster Warner.
Hell, I can name Tank Carradine too if I want to.
Dang. That was an interesting year.
That's 2012.
Bro, wait, I know. Imagine that. Elvis Dumerville. That was Louisville, right?
O-line's tough, Damien.
Nah, we not doing online.
Nah.
We'll be here all night arguing that. We can run off a bunch of Bama and Wisconsin guys. Like
older Bosa. Y'all ain't talk. Y'all are not talking. They don't listen. Y'all don't listen. You're not talking to me, y'all.
hey man, if I can't talk them out,
listen.
if I can't talk them out, get them
One,
off the list,
two,
bro.
3,
Y'all.
4, 5, 6, 7. We got 3 more DNs, y'all. And y'all not talking me off of Bjorn Warner. And if we can't figure out these last 3, I'm throwing D Walk on there.
This guy.
Jenkins and
We got
Burns.
Myles
We're gonna
Garrett
call
on
it
there,
right.
right?
Yes.
Chase
What
Young.
about Chase Young? Huh?
Chase Young and Vic Beasley.
I ain't throwing Vic Beasley on
What?
there. Not the way Cam Urban handled that.
Touche.
Vic Beasley don't belong on this list.
But we got Chase Young on there.
Chase Young, he's got the measurables. I mean, I'll throw Chase Young.
I don't think any Bama guys that stood out.
Not as edge rushers.
What about Jarvis? Do you remember Jarvis Jones? Nah.
Jarvis Jones for Bama?
Well, Georgia.
Oh, he was a linebacker though.
Well, I mean,
wasn't he?
He was an edge linebacker.
He was really good in college though.
Yeah.
He wasn't that good in the NFL.
We might have to throw a Bosa on there, bro.
Fine, I'll just put Bosa.
Joey.
And Dwight Freeney. That's a good one. When was he drafted? When did he come out? Dwight Freeney was good in college.
Yeah, all right. All right.
I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Okay, that's it. I'm putting D Walk on there. We're gonna call that. D ends are done. Cameron Wembley, I feel you. Cameron Wembley was nice.
Vernon Ghosted.
D Walk. So we got a list: Clowney, Garrett, Khalil Mack, Bjorn Warner, who y'all not talking me out of. Peter Boyer, Renard Wilson aren't in the 2000s, guys. Will Anderson, Terrell Suggs, Pollock, Chase Young, Bosa, and D Walk. So we're done here.
Are we?
We're done.
Okay. Hey man, I'm just a guest host.
Let's see where we at. We're at 3 hours. I mean, I can do one more position.
What though? Secondary? Just throw everything in secondary together?
Secondary would be very interesting. 2000? Yeah, let's do that. I think that's fun.
Okay.
So we're talking Sean Taylor. Right?
College. Right? College
Yeah.
only. Okay. Sean Taylor.
We're doing all secondary. So we're doing corners and safeties. So Taylor, Ramsey.
Oh man.
Patrick, I'm with you. Patrick Peterson, absolutely.
Yeah. It's like I want to say names, but
Eric Berry. Is it Ed Reed? Ed Reed qualified for this?
I ain't got Ed on it.
I don't think Ed Reed qualified. Let me see. I could be wrong.
He was like 98, 99.
Yeah, I don't think Ed Reed. I don't think qualified. 97 to 2001. That don't qualify for me. I'm not putting Ed Reed in there. When he played majority of his career in the 90s. Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. Right now, I got him on it.
Derwin. That man said Tony Carter. Man, go sit in the corner. I was thinking about Tyrann Mathieu. We'll do the Honey Badger.
He's in there.
Sauce Gardner. I like that one.
Where did he go to school at again?
Then Cincinnati, I think, didn't
he? Yeah, that's what makes it tough for me.
But that Cincinnati team went to a college football playoff.
Oh, okay, I guess.
And was close to beating Georgia.
I guess. All right.
Or was it the bowl game that they were close to beating Georgia? I don't remember. But they did go to the college football playoff. Roy Williams. I remember Roy.
Yeah.
Where
was it, like a linebacker though?
Yeah,
he's on the fringe, yeah. Because he was still a liability in coverage.
We got Pat Pete already. Morris Claiborne, nah. Terrence Newman. I mean, I remember the name.
Nah.
But nah. Hell, Vernon Hargreaves. He was hype, bro. Oh. I don't even think he wasn't even that good in college to me.
He wasn't the better. Who was the other corner? The other corner was the better one.
The other corner, yeah. I forget his name. Reggie Nelson was dope. I'm about
dope.
But remember, we're doing top 10. I'll put Palomalu on there.
Okay. I didn't like him in college.
How?
I just said I didn't like
him. Marcus Joyner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 4 more. Janoris Jenkins.
No.
Champ Bailey.
Champ?
When was Champ Bailey at Georgia, bro? Y'all be throwing out some names that be borderline 90s players.
I think that's how far you going back. You get dragged into it, man.
Champ Bailey was born in 78. And he was the first round pick of the 1999 draft. No, not naming Champ Bailey. Y'all be going back. To leave.
And we got Jalen and Derwin on there, right?
We got Jalen, but not Derwin. My problem with Derwin is he was hurt most of his damn college career.
Myron Rowe.
I would throw Xavier Rhodes on there though.
You know, I wouldn't argue with that as a cover quarter.
Right. Show me a better man-to-man guy than Xavier Rhodes.
Be hard pressed to find somebody. And we got Eric Berry on there, right?
Yeah, Eric Berry was like the second guy I named, or the third guy, somewhere around there. Definitely Eric Berry. Definitely Patrick Peterson, Sean Taylor, Jalen Ramsey, the Honey Badger, Troy Polamalu, Xavier Rhodes, Reggie Nelson. I like that Reggie Nelson one. But then, you talk about Reggie Nelson. What about Earl Thomas at Texas? What about Antrell Roll?
Antrell Roll, I got him, yeah.
What about Pac-Man Jones? What about D'Angelo Hall? D'Angelo Hall's a really good one. He was a dog at Virginia Tech.
I like. Wait, now we talking about the Fuller guys too. Virginia Tech.
I wasn't that high on the Fuller guys, but D'Angelo Hall I was. Greg Reed over Xavier Rhodes, you've lost your mind, and I love me some Greg Reed, but you guys are crazy.
Boy.
You guys are insane.
Tough, man.
I'm gonna throw D'Angelo Hall on there, bro.
I'm with that.
And I could take Rhodes off for a guy like D'Angelo Hall, but not for no Greg Reed.
Only problem is we not taking the
LaRon Landry.
The linebacker.
Never been too big a fan of the Landry brothers.
Hayden is the other corner.
Joe Hayden?
I like Hayden.
Hayden's
I like Hayden.
Joe Hayden's a good one. Yeah, Joe Hayden's a good one. So I'll tell you what. I'll scratch Xavier Rhodes off.
Because I'll take Joyner over.
But you take Joyner. Yeah, you would probably take Marcus Joyner. Myron Roll. Look, love me some Myron Roll, but he nowhere near this list.
Brain surgery ain't gonna get you on this list.
Right. Rhodes Scholar not gonna get you on this list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're still at 7. I took Xavier Rhodes off.
Oh, it was Tease Tabor and Hargreaves, yeah.
And to neither both of them.
He's sacred fans. Travis Hunter.
Might throw Pac-Man Joe Undo in here.
I like it. Although I feel like a lot of his career had to do with what he did, like with the ball in his hands.
More special teams type stuff. Yeah. There was another corner in that class. It was Pac-Man, Entree Roll, and I feel like wasn't there another corner in that class?
I don't remember.
Mike Doss. What about Pat Surtain's a good one. He actually is a pretty good one. But did I put Sauce? I didn't put Sauce Gardner on here yet.
I think you put him on there, man.
We'll throw Sauce on here.
What's any Bama safeties besides Mika?
I didn't throw Fitzpatrick on here, but I can.
Yeah.
Kilpatrick.
I got Mika on there.
Okay.
Mika.
We'll put Fitzpatrick on here. So then we need one more guy. So we got 9.
What we had on LSU players? We got Patrick Peterson.
We have 2 LSU players.
And we got
we have 1 Seminole. We have 1 Miami Hurricane.
Oh, we don't. Yeah, we only got 1 Seminole.
I took Rhodes off.
Eddie Jackson is ooh.
I thought about Earl Thomas. Eddie Jackson. Okay. What's some of those other? Bama had some other safeties too.
They had a lot of them. What's the one couldn't cover at all? They had that one he couldn't cover at all. Landon
Yeah, that's
Collins.
Was it Landon?
Landon Collins.
Landon Collins. Yeah.
But he was a safety. Ooh.
Mark Barron's another one they
couldn't
had.
cover.
Marlon Humphreys is one.
I got Marlon Humphrey on that list, bro. Marlon Humphrey was locking it down.
I remember Mark Barron. Because I think the Bucks drafted Mark Barron.
Yep.
He didn't do nothing, though.
He was running the 4.8.
I'm not putting Mark Barron on that list.
Yeah, Mark Barron's not making it. I put Landon Collins on the list before.
I'll put Joyner on that list before I put Mark Barron on that list.
I argue that Joyner in college, specifically the year that Honey Badger was getting all that hype, Joyner was doing that too. Antonio Cromartie don't have enough of a resume to be on the list.
Right. I can't put Crow on there because he don't.
Shoot, I remember Crow was supposed to be a wide receiver.
I'm about to throw Joyner on here and call it a night.
Nah, no Crow. Unless you talk about Rogers Cromartie.
All right. Well, so we'll end with this, y'all, man. Sean Taylor, Jalen Ramsey, Patrick Peterson, Eric Berry, Tyron Mathieu, Troy Polamalu, D'Angelo Hall, Sauce Gardner, Fitzpatrick, and LaMarcus Joyner. Stephen Gilmore, all them other guys. Clinton Dix. I remember Clinton Dix. But that's all we got tonight, y'all, man. We did a good 3 hours, man.
You did.
Well, yeah, I did the majority of that. Terrence came in the back half.
It's fun as always.
But it's about that time, man.
Yeah, I need to get some rest. I got a lot to do tomorrow.
Yeah, you go to sleep. I will see you Saturday, bro.
Indeed.
All right.
Take it easy.
Yes, sir. And as far as the rest of you guys go, I forgot about Darrell Reeves, y'all. y'all wait to the end of the show to bring up Darrell Reeves, but Darrell Reeves was a dog, as we know. But as always, y'all, man, thank y'all for coming in and kicking with me on this Noles After Dark. And hit that like button on the way out, man, if you didn't hit it on the way in. And we had a good show, man. We talked about hype versus reality, and then we got into some other stuff towards the end. But that's what we do here, man. We have some fun. So, man, as always, it's your boy Polk over here on 863 Seminole TV. Stay classy, Seminoles, as the shirt says, which I know y'all read it backwards. But stay classy, my Seminoles, and we are out here. Go Noles.